It's amazing how time tends to heal. I'm not. This time last week, yeah, would have saw a person in a crosswalk with an Eagles hat on, or a Hawks hat on, or a Rams hat on, or a Raiders hat on. If I'm driving down the street, I'm not hitting the brake. You know, did you watch the Pro Bowl game? I couldn't do it. I watched a couple of seconds. I saw what they were wearing. I said, "Oh man, I'm not interested in this." So fam. Hey, here's a question tonight: Shanahan or whom? Right? In light of the rumblings currently going around the Niners circles after 7 years with the current regime, that includes both head coach Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. We'll resume conversations one more time to get a bit more of a feel for the temperature regarding Coach Shanahan, that seems to be considered the root of only the Super Bowl failures. The question is that a legitimate reason to say goodbye to the coach, or would continued patience be a further exercise in absolute futility? Can't really. So tonight, since the Niners Empire is not discussing participation in Super Bowl 57, we'll go to the phones to discuss whether you're excusing the 2023 season as another bizarre twist of fate, as a fluke, or is it all Kyle Shanahan's fault? I've given a lot of thought on this. I really have, fam. Brandon Ayuk. Feeling you. Oh, I'm glad. I'm starting to. I used to becoming a very outspoken individual over the last course of the last year. Actually, he usually has things to say that are timely. Despite losing to the damned Eagles in last week's NFC Championship game, Ayuk isn't convinced the team will be successful in Super Bowl 57 against the Chiefs. Who the hell is, except for Chiefs fans, delusional idiots? Yeah, I called you that. You guys aren't that good. Beautiful stroke of luck, though. Take their quarterbacks out of the game, not off the field. Don't sack them. We're not talking about sacking or playing great defense. Take him completely out of the game. That was the only way you were going to win that game. Now, Ayuk knows it. He ain't convinced the team will be successful against the Chiefs. Per Brendan Deeg of The Score, Ayuk recently said it was luck that got the Eagles to the big game, and he doesn't believe it's in the cards for them to win it all. Ayuk said later, adding, quote, "If I were going to bet on the game, I would take everything that I own, get it in cash, and put my money on the Kansas City Chiefs. You got to get lucky to win a Super Bowl, and the Eagles just got extremely lucky last week. So who's to say they don't do it twice? Hell, ain't no way in hell Lightning will strike in the same fashion. They'd actually have to go out and take Mahomes out the same way they took out our quarterbacks. That's the only way in hell they're going to win that game." And Ayuk saying that from a perspective that he was out on the field dealing with their secondary, which, by the way, was probably overrated. Wait a minute. No. Their defensive front was the good part. Their secondary was trash. How you have to say? Your secondary being trash wasn't supposed to succeed against the 49ers. But you did what you had to do to get there. Hey, good on you, Eagles. How many quarterbacks you gonna put in the hospital before every game? See, and just like plenty of us believe, the Niners were, quote, hands down the best football team in the league. There's no doubt in my mind. This is why Shanahan's being so nasty and rude and saying the things he's saying to, like he did to Jimmy Ward, which Jimmy put him on blast on his social media, which probably means Jimmy's had his last days in a 49er uniform. There's no sense of humor in the front office in San Francisco right now, or should I say in Santa Clara, because this was a year, fam. The more I think about it, this was the damned year. They had the best defense in the league. They had an offense that included the last piece that it needed to steamroll any team in the league. All you got to do is wind Christian McCaffrey up and let him go. The rest of the team, everything falls into place. This was the year. There's no doubt in my mind. But they did the right thing. Who knew? Get rid of the quarterback. No, don't play hard against him. Get him off the field, and then you can win. Brilliant. So just like BA, he admits he's still not over the loss of the Eagles. He goes on to add, "We felt like it was our. This is a quote. We felt like it was our time," and he's right. And for that to get cut short, it's sickening. Unquote. Brandon was held to one catch for 10 yards, and the Niners lost to the Eagles. The Niners were doomed by injuries to quarterbacks Brock Purdy and Josh Johnson, rendering the passing attack completely moot and ineffective. You don't have one now. You got nothing. All you do is hand the ball to each other and try to see if you can play rugby football. Absolutely. That was the Eagles got set up perfectly. Which, if you're going to have that kind of luck, I might think maybe they can win the Super Bowl, because if you could come in and take a team that clearly was going to beat you, and I really, as soon as that game started, and I assumed that the 49ers already had the plan for Hurts, I said, ooh, they worked on this. Hurts ain't going nowhere. And then a few minutes later, and in fact, when and the word is now from a lot of surveillance from a lot of people, Brock Purdy was about to throw a TD to Ayuk, who's complaining that he had smoked their secondary. If you haven't got a good coverage in the secondary and Ayuk's out there, Ayuk does a job on some of the league's best coverage guys. If your secondary is weak, the 49ers were going to roll, which kind of answers the question as to why Kyle was throwing the ball. Anyway, it's over. By the way, Trent Williams isn't retiring, fam. Trent cleared up any confusion regarding his future at Saturday's Pro Bowl games, kept practice, saying he'll be back next season and then some. Williams told NFL.com when asked if he was definitely coming back. His response was, quote, "Yes, for sure. Next year, the year after, I'm under contract till I'm 39 years old, 2 years from now." And don't forget it, Trent. Don't get tired next year sitting in the locker room all pissed off. Well, hell, win the Super Bowl next year or get there. And then you ain't got to be sitting around talking about, yeah, I'm 35 years old, man. Y'all don't understand, man. Shut up. I mean, Trent scared every member of the Niners Empire the other day when Niners players were cleaning out their lockers, talking about retiring, saying things like, "You do think about life after football?" Quote. Fam, as I mentioned earlier, have you thrown your hands up in the air and said enough of Coach Shanahan? Take John Lynch with you and don't let the door hit you where the sun don't shine. Or are you one who believes freakishly in bad luck? If you believe in fate and luck won't change with regime or head coach? And are you with Team Ayuk, certain of a Chiefs about to hand the Eagles their lucky butts? Then I just want to say, though, I'm in camp, no. Fam, I'm going to tell you why. I don't know. The thing is, I don't want to see another coach come in for this simple reason. He's going to come in and want to change everything. We got to install a new offense. He's going to want to install a new defense. He's going to want to go get his own quarterback. Some people may not have a problem with that part. But the thing is, he's going to want to come in and change everything because he's not going to be comfortable otherwise, just like every other coach that comes into a new regime or a new team. Everything's going to change. Install a new defense, which freaks me out. You're going to have to go get – what if he doesn't like the guys he's got on defense? Now he's going to go get a whole bunch of new guys. I'm not trying to go 2-15 for the next 2 or 3 years trying to rebuild this team. See, because for all intents and purposes, I still think this team is win-now window for the Super Bowl for the next 2 years. Because see, here's another thing. Even if the guys do decide to stay there under contract, they may not like the new guy, right? I know it's not their job to like the new guy, but they're supposed to come out there and play inspired football. I'm not sure if I can play inspired football behind a coach I don't really believe or trust or think we're going anywhere. And you freaking guys change this management in the middle of my goddamn prime. I mean, my damn prime. I mean, that'd be the attitude you're going to take on, right? So, yeah, I don't know. It's probably not the best idea as far as where I'm sitting from. So I don't know. We're gonna get into. I hope that Steve Wilkes does come on to keep that defense the way it is. Um, I'm hoping Shanahan's gradually learning from his mistakes. And I know people said a lot of coaches have come in after 5 years. But that example was made just the other day. A lot of coaches come in, spend 5 years, and if they don't have nothing to show for it, they're usually let go. Yeah, but they're not usually making the playoffs. They're not making any kind of runs. They're a mess from beginning to end. You know, it's like you look at Pete Carroll and the Seahawks. Um, Carroll is not getting fired because he, even as mediocre as that team was, he still kept him in the hunt. Amazingly enough, I don't know how long that's going to last, but they got a lot of first round. They got a lot of high round draft picks. So if a coach knows what he's doing, you got to be careful before you start just throwing him around and thinking because. I mean, who are you going to bring in is what I want to know tonight. That's the case tonight. I just want to be convinced that you know what you're saying when you say get rid of this guy, and knowing that the fact is that means you're basically going to clean house. A new coach is going to come in and want a whole new setup. Now everybody's got to learn everything anew. It could be a good thing. I really don't know, but I don't trust it. Anyway, fam, you make that call and you tell me what you think. Because I'm just, in fact, I'm pretty sure Jed's not going to do it because Jed's probably paranoid of what he might get to. And I'm sure Jed's probably got feelers out there looking around for people that are available and that are capable of actually running the 49ers somewhere besides into the mud. Harold, you got to get an offensive line overhaul. The 49ers seem to work on different units every year. The fact is, we're going to lose. Slowick is he? We're going to lose some people off that. If some of the guys that aren't signed, Brindle's probably gone. Anybody on the offensive line, anybody in the offense that hasn't been signed or is a free agent, could be meat. Anyway, is it? Well, it's a big show. Big show. This is year 6. How many passes are you going to give Kyle? If he hasn't learned by now, he needs to be canned, especially since we don't have a quarterback in year 6. So, that's a interesting point. So this new coach comes in. You have to keep Trey no matter what. He's under contract and it's a dead cap hit. So John Lynch and company aren't going to be interested in hearing about getting rid of him. I don't know how he's going to feel about Brock Purdy. You're right, though. He is going to want his own quarterback. You fire him now, and he's going to want his own quarterback. That's the way new coaches do. He's going to want a DC. That's up to Lynch, I guess. Lynch. I guess he can hire the DC he wants. So you're walking on a thin, razor sharp edge. Tommy, welcome all the people who got whooped by the Niners, Lambs fans and seat choke fans. I know Gina Smith ain't it. I know. Howard, come on in, fam. Oof, oof, my dog.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
He's gotten bigger. Howard, I believe we ran over this just a little bit the other day, but I thought I'd get in depth with it today. Howard, getting rid of Kyle Shanahan, bringing on a whole new system, regime, players not re-signing, all the things that come along with that move. Are you on board, or what are you thinking?
I mean, I'm cool with that. Honestly, I don't know, man. I'm losing my flavor for Shanahan right now, especially after hearing all these things that are going on. Oh, the locker room supposedly said, if Brock Purdy ain't the starter next season, there's going to be pissed off players. Listen, Kyle, this is all your fucking fault. You know what I mean? You're not a leader. You're not a leader. You're not a leader of men. This is what you need to do. What other team has players saying shit like this? It sounds like they run the damn team. You know what I mean? They are in control, not you, coach. It's them, or the ones that you have a special relationship with, maybe. I don't know, but it just sounds man crazy. Like you got your players coming out talking like this, it's crazy, and then you just trash your quarterbacks and say, oh well, I'm sorry he hit his head, and I'm sorry he got our quarterback elbow bent back, and then the other one this. It's like, come on, bro. You have no freaking clue how to talk to people. You have no clue. You know what I'm saying? And everybody keeps saying this is a Super Bowl roster. Super Bowl roster. Hell, you have nothing to show for it still, Kyle. What's going on? You know what I mean? It starts with you. And everybody wants to stick up for this man. Why? What has he done? He's done just as much as Jim Harbaugh. Nothing. It is what it is. You win a lot of games. You don't win a championship. That's all it is. You know what I mean? And basically, Kyle's L's are based on him. It's really his fault. You don't have the offensive line to keep your quarterbacks upright. You don't have the offensive line to keep your running backs upright. They're always broken. They're always hurt. Always. And we just think it's football reasons? No. It's because of what you're doing. It's what you're putting your resources into. Instead of just looking at your play sheet saying, oh, my system works. My system works. It's always going to work if you execute it correctly. Listen, man, it only going to work when your trenches are at its peak. That's what it needs. That's what you need. Offensive line and your defensive line. Remember I said this, Ronbo.
Howard, the only thing is,
beat the Eagles.
The only thing is, the only pushback
starts in the trenches.
But the only pushback can be offered on that is the fact that how many games did they lose last season? You know, this is the thing. Man, it's tough to say. Howard, what would you rather have? 15-2? What I'm trying to get at is there's a measure of success the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan can actually brag. You know, only one team can win the Super Bowl. Only one team, two teams are going to get there. Out of 32, I just don't. It needs. Who would you bring in, though?
There's plenty you can look at. You know what I mean? You get Shane Steichen from Philly. It's a young guy who's an offensive mind. Somebody who could utilize these quarterbacks the correct way and not just follow your stupid-ass playbook. Oh, you have to do it right. You know what I mean? Only so these other players can say this is 49er football. This is so retarded. This is how you got Kyle Juszczyk and guys like Kittle saying stupid things like that. They only want to play one way. It's so retarded. You're the coach, man. You're the leader of this team. You got to act like you. Stop treating these guys like they're your homies.
You know, there's a solidarity.
You got to get behind your quarterback. You got to get behind your quarterback, regardless who it is.
Well, see, there you go.
Who cares if you don't like them?
Howard, that's what they did. They got behind their quarterback. You know, they got behind the one that they thought they had the best success with. So, you know, it's kind of, they are actually doing exactly as you say. The players are behind their quarterback because of who well, I don't know. It just,
in regards to what,
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I just said Brock actually proved to him that he could get it done. And as I say, if they don't break his arm off, I think Purdy beats him, the Eagles. I really do. So, you know.
I mean, hey, we will never know, and I honestly don't think he was going to win.
The Eagles were, they're not, we're going to see how good the Eagles are next week. I don't think the Eagles faced enough fierce competition like they faced last week, and they sure as hell ain't going to have them face anything like they're about to see next week. So, you know, I think they were about to be exposed. That was a touchdown from what people are saying that Brock was just about to let loose. Ayuk had already beat his man. He should have just let it loose a little earlier. So,
Okay. I hear you, man. I hear you, but it is what it is, man. Like it happened. But like I said, in regards to what Matt Mayoko said about what the locker room supposedly said, I don't think he's lying. I don't think he's that kind of guy to do that.
No.
You know what I mean? If it
Yeah.
happens to have to be Trey Lance or somebody else,
Well, they'll get behind him.
then
I
so
mean,
be it.
yeah.
Because the kid still got to recover. You don't know how serious his arm is
Yeah.
gonna be. You know what I mean? Like, why would you just want to rush him back just so you can win some freaking games?
I
Dude,
agree.
come
I
on.
agree with that for sure. They're just a little pissed off right now, like everybody else. You got Trent Williams talking about, man, I'm tired. They get into next season, and all Trey's got to do is demonstrate that he is actually better than Brock. Now the measuring stick is up there, so you gotta beat him out. You can't just have the job. So we're gonna find out what happens with that. So if he can do it, I doubt very seriously George Kittle and Juice are gonna have any problem with that.
We'll see, man. Because
Yeah.
they seem to really be playing favorites. I don't know. That's just
Well,
me.
because they've seen more of him. That's the thing. Trey's got to come out there and win the team's confidence. Any quarterback does, and show them that he can at least do as well as Brock did and better. And he's got it. They're not. I don't think they're that biased that they're not going to be able to appreciate a better quarterback. So that's coming up. But as far as
I don't
Kyle
know,
Shanahan
man.
go, he can't control that kind of thing anyway. You can tell guys what we're going to do, but you can't change how they feel. So we're going to find out what happens with that. Ah, man, it's going to be rough next year,
We'll
Howard.
see. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Right.
We'll see how things look. Cause you know what I
Right.
mean. Like
Right. 'Cause
I just wanted things to be right, man. You know what I'm
and
saying?
you and
Don't
me
be
both,
don't
man,
be
because we got to
divided
stop
about.
doing this. Yeah. All right, fam.
Yeah.
Let's come back. Let's come back tomorrow and see what's on the news, and we'll get right in here. All right. All right, Howard.
All right,
All right,
big
big dog. Yeah. Howard. You know how, fam.
I've been man.
Peace. And Jill, Bill, Phil. Come on in, Phil.
Hey, Ronbo.
Hey, Phil. I've sat around and I've decided, man, I thought about all the things that would actually be happening should we switch the coaches. Oh,
So let's
that's
just bring
really
Tom Sula
risky.
back. How about that? How about
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Or Chip Kelly. How about that?
I know.
You know, I bought season tickets to those years. They were horrible.
Oh, I know the records.
This year's was fun. And I tell you what, let me ask you, other than Belichick, how many coaches currently coaching have won more than one Super Bowl?
Good question, because I can't
Let me
even
help
think
you
of
out.
one.
Zero. So, and how many out of the last decade coaches have made it to the Super Bowl? And I'm adding Sean Payton to this list. 7. And Kyle's one of them. Out of 32.
Yeah.
So these people need to get waking up. You know, these callers that say get rid of Kyle, go be Cowboy fans, because that's what Cowboy fans do. You know? I'm sick of it. We've got one of the best coaches in the league. Yeah, we've had some quarterback injuries, but not all of them are Kyle's fault. Matter of fact, I can only think of one that can even come close, and that's Trey. But Trey had got injured 3 times already in 3 years.
That in itself is frightening. 3 times, and he's been here for 2.
So,
Oh, he's coming on 3.
and Brock got hit, blindsided. He should have gotten rid of the ball faster. Yes, that's what rookies do. But he's going to be healthy by training camp, according to the doctors. And believe me, doctors today are far better than they were 5-6 years ago. So the technology is far different. I mean, there was a time when ACLs would just, you're done for your career.
Yeah, unless you're going to hobble around. Yeah.
So, I mean, now they're coming back in a year. So,
Yeah. And that's a final verdict on his arm. It's no Tommy John surgery necessary. Go ahead and repair it.
he's
And
going to use the brace, which is
yeah.
3 months out. 3 months of throwing to build his arm strength up, and in 6 months he'll be ready for training camp. So I'm not worried about that. I'm more worried about our roster. We've got a lot of free agents.
Yep.
And, I just I would like us to get Brendel and McGlinchey back to keep the continuity on the offensive line.
You heard about Brendel, right? He could be going with Slowick.
That's what they say, but, does he want to stay here or does he want to go? I think all things equal, he stays here.
But what if
what I heard in the
what if they
locker
offer
room
more
is
money? That's the thing we got to worry about
almost
with all our
every
free
guy.
agents.
Yeah, but Texas doesn't have a ton of money either. We're right in the middle of the pack as far as money goes.
The Texans don't have any money? What do they don't have any players? How do they not have any money?
Because
that's bad management.
They're in Trent, okay. But you're going to sign Bosa and put a ton of money on his signing bonus and then spread it out over 5 years or whatever length of the contract is. And these guys they're going to sign and then sign them to a big signing bonus for this year and then spread it out over time. That's what you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, Perot's going to work this thing out. We're going to sign a bunch of guys. But everybody in that locker room said they wanted to be back as a 49er.
Yeah.
So
even Trent was laying in his chair crying. Yeah.
The locker room loves to play for him. And so I think we're going to be fine. We've got our stars signed under contract. Nobody's going to rip our stars off. And, I think Brendel we can get back. And I think McGlinchey is going to be questionable. But, if we don't have a right tackle, everybody that ragged on McGlinchey is going to be, oh, I wish McGlinchey was back, type of thing.
Phil, do you know the going rate, even for right tackle, is around $11 million? I didn't know.
Yeah,
I didn't know what they.
million.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Well, I didn't know there's already. I should have known there's a standard out there, but I didn't think about it.
Like Lane Johnson, he makes 19. So the top right tackles,
not left, right tackles are getting paid.
Yeah. But, Trent's making 24-25 against the Capitals.
I know. But he's worked every bit of it.
Retired.
He's underpaid.
Anybody he ain't leaving $25 million on the table. There's no way in hell.
I know.
So
he just had to think
I
about it.
knew that was a joke when it first started going around.
As soon as he got home, his wife probably slapped him a couple times. Bap.
Yeah.
Do you realize what you said? You go right back in and you tell everybody you will be back next year. Okay.
I want that big diamond.
But yeah, that's the thing,
Anyway,
Phil.
yeah,
I still don't know about changing everything because that means we got to go through another growing process.
Hell no, we got one of the best coaches in the league. We've been in the NFC Championship 3 out of 4 years.
That's really special. It doesn't get enough love.
And where we made our mistake was losing a few games early in the season to inferior teams, and we didn't get home field advantage.
And we didn't miss by much.
That's where we made our mistake.
I know.
So, we had to go on the road. We had to beat Philly there. We lost our quarterback, and that just,
That's game over.
The end of it.
Yeah. Game over.
So
you're already down to your second and third quarterback, and that third one is just awful.
Is going to be
or fourth one
done anyway.
Yeah.
So, we've got a good situation. Our wide receiver room is the same. Our running back room is the same. Nobody's leaving.
Yeah.
We got to get a right tackle in the center.
Yeah.
Whether it's Brendel and McGlinchey or someone else.
Yeah. Well,
and then the offense will be fine.
We're going to get into
because
that fun.
The quarterback room is going to be okay.
I believe it.
And then,
Phil,
we got to worry about, safety.
Yeah, because Jimmy Ward's he's getting fired.
Gibson is out.
Anyway, Phil, we really got to go. I'll be back tomorrow and see what's going on in the news with the Niners.
Those guys that complain about Shanahan, let's bring back Tom Sula for a year. Then they'll be crying, I wish Kyle was back.
It's got to be. Phil, I'll see you tomorrow, Phil.
All right, Ronbo, take care.
So interesting
All right.
conversation.
Bye.
Bye, Phil. So interesting. We got opposing views already. Howard says yes. Out of here, Kyle. Phil comes in and points out no. I think we got 2 no votes for Kyle because it's Papa Dragon. Pop, come on in here. It's good to bring you back in behind Phil because you and Phil frequently have differences of opinions.
Yeah, well, I have a more realistic opinion, and he has a fantasy opinion. It's like for him to even suggest bring back Tom Sula is just idiocy.
Well, I mean, we make a comparison between if we're not happy with Kyle, bring back Tommy. Tommy T.
I maintain my same position that I have maintained. Okay, having worked for an actual NFL team. Okay, my position is this: if you don't get something for an asset, you have failed. Okay, so for example, Jimmy G is about to walk.
Yep,
we're not getting anything for him. That was mismanaged. Okay, we had a fourth quarter lead in the Super Bowl. We lost the game. That's a situation that was mismanaged. But would I fire Kyle? No. My position, and it's still that position, is trade him. Trade his ass for some number 1 picks. Now, unfortunately, it could kind of be a bad time to trade him, just because.
How many years has he got left on his contract, though? I mean,
he doubled up. I believe he's got 5 more years.
Oh, you know what though? It doesn't affect the cap. So whatever team takes him doesn't have to be concerned with that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, but we can get compensation for him. That's the whole point. And if you're smart and trade him to the right team, like for example, I'm gonna say something feel ridiculous. This is my Philism. Trade him to the Cardinals, and in that way he can take his little wee man quarterback and run him on quarterback power up the middle, get him blown up, and then again we're still winning.
Pop,
we made them worse and better.
What's the worst team in the league? Indy? Wait, who had the worst record in the league?
You know what?
I want to trade. I want to get that high draft round pick. I don't want,
No, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, but the Bears just got a new quarterback, a new coach.
Yeah.
It's the Bears.
It was him.
And it's just like I forecasted with the Bears. I said the Bears are going to get swept by the Lions, and they're going to be picking top 5 in the draft, and they were.
And you were right.
So the reality moving forward is that there's a lot of people in the league, and I'm telling you this straight up from just the things that I hear, at my social events and from people that still work in the football industry, that Kyle is one of the smartest guys in football. But I always ask them the question, just like I ask everybody the question. I asked Larry Krueger the question, who was defending Kyle left and right. And I said, Larry, who's the best tight end in football? He said, Kelsey. I said, okay, Kelsey is the best tight end in football. You're saying that? He goes, yes. I'm like, would you assign Kelsey to block Nick Bosa? He said, oh, no. He said, wait a second. He caught himself.
That's a good, you caught me the other day. I had lockjaw as soon as you asked that question. Hell no. But I'm thinking to myself, oh God, no.
No, you don't. So what I'm trying to say is that the same remarks that even you're making by saying things like, oh, they got lucky. Oh, it was a touchdown. If it was a touchdown, it was a touchdown. If we would have caught if Jimmy G threw a perfect pass to the ball and we won, then we're champions. And that's where the Rams get it and the 49ers don't. They go all in. They got their ring. I wouldn't mind having a ring and sucking the next year because we haven't had a ring in over 20 years, Ronbo.
True.
But am I stupid enough to sit there and say file Kyle Shanahan, who's basically when his system is working and everybody's going in the same direction, they win? Yes, but I would never put money on a Shanahan-led team in a championship game whatsoever, just because for some reason his decision-making comes into play to help them lose the game, not help them win it. And that's where people, and I understand their arguments. So I'm not going to be like Phil and say, oh, you're an idiot. You guys need to wake up. Oh, my God. Where's my Budweiser? Have I had to? I'm not going to say no dumb shit like that because everyone's entitled to their opinion. But people are mad for a reason. It's not like we're not mad because we lost. We're not mad because we lost. We're mad at how we lost. Because guess what? If it was luck, then Ronbo, tell me how they knocked out 2 quarterbacks in one game. That's not luck, Ronbo. That's a trend. That is a trend. Your game plan didn't work and you didn't adjust. You did not adjust. And then not only did you not adjust, even when everything fell apart, a real coach would have been on the sideline in the dirt drawing up plays for Juice, McCaffrey, and Depot to play Wildcat quarterback the rest of the way. They wouldn't have just given up. So it's like, I understand everyone's frustrated, and I get that. But overwhelmingly, firing Shanahan, who's very valuable right now, I can get more picks for Shanahan than I can get for any player on that team except for Bosa. Okay?
Yeah. But as I say, that's true. Well, yeah, except for Nick.
Well, there's a reason for that. He's a genius. He's a genius, but he's a dumb genius. He does dumb shit, and he says even dumber shit. And he's not a leader of men. That's the best thing I can tell you. He is not a leader of men. And I told you this team had locker room problems, and they do.
Oh, man.
They're a bunch of arrogant pricks. Okay, they're a bunch of arrogant pricks who think they run the show.
Honestly, though, a lot of them came in unarrogant. They sort of got that way after they started to notch fame.
The coach, it trickles down from leadership. Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? We lost the Super Bowl, but let's go party like we won the Super Bowl because in our minds, we were the champs.
Bob, great observation. Your perspective, well, it's taken. I'm telling you what. Let's go now. I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll get into something else. But yeah, I understand.
And I don't want to hear Tom's. I don't want to hear Tom Solo's name ever again. Or Chip Kelly. I don't want to hear it.
You don't like Tommy T? I used to like him.
Look, Eric, the enemy's out there. Dorsey's out there. There's people that are out there. Okay, but still, I agree with you, Ronbo, that making such a big turn would be detrimental.
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan needs to do better as a leader and get his team under control.
There you go. All right, Bob.
They were embarrassing. They were losing their shit during the last game, getting in fights, uppercutting people. Okay, I'm sorry,
Someone
production.
needed an uppercut. All right, fam. We got to go. Yep. Bob, have a great night, fam.
Good, man.
There he goes. Well, Bob,
I need a Budweiser. When anyone comes soon,
Bob has made clear that he does not appreciate the findings and thoughts of Chill Pill Phil. Hey, let's get. Big Show says Kyle's last year is in 2025. You know what though? Does it? If you what Pop just said, if you want to trade him though, it's not a cap hit. And I was just thinking, 49ers got to absorb all that. That's dead money. Maybe the team he gets traded to's got to pay the rest. Let's go check out, see what Tony has. Hey, Tony, come on in, Tony.
Hey, Ronbo.
Tony. Well, Tony, I thought we didn't exactly exhaust the feelings of us the other day, and I said, I should probably revisit this just a little longer. But I do want to know, what do we do as an alternative? Nobody's really offered a lot of options. They throw names out there, but I'm looking at the whole picture, and now you throw everything we've achieved down through the years in the trash. No matter what, 4 out of 5 years, 3 out of 4 years, we're in the money, we're in the Super Bowl conversation. Now you got to change all that. New coach is going to come in. He's going to want to bring his people. He's going to want to make player changes to adapt to his system and that type of Chris Historic. Maybe one of the only coaches that's left standing, which would be, if Chris wants to stay, maybe he likes that last regime. You got to go into the draft and get your own quarterback now. He's going to want that. Now we're pretty much starting from scratch. When they put that thing in the oven, is it going to rise? Tony, is what I'm worried about. Is that cake going to bake? Are we going to be okay? But Tony, what are you going to do? Is that your idea to get rid of Kyle, or what do you think?
Well, you can have Kyle, who sniffs his own farts in the playoffs and even tries to pick the ingredients out from last night's bloody dinner and that henceforth. That's why he has cognitive issues during big games. Or you can go get someone else. I mean, who's that someone else I agree with was a big Papa Dragon that mentioned the name, the guy, the play caller for the Eagles.
Oh, yeah. And then there's him. I forget his name, but yeah.
Right, because the first year that young coach came in, he was nothing. They brought this play caller in, and all of a sudden they're in a Super Bowl. He beat Kyle. I mean, Kyle could probably carry, what's his name? Bloody the big fat dude from the Chiefs.
Bieniemy? You talking about the Bieniemy?
No, the coach. The coach.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh,
Andy
Reid. Yeah.
Kyle can carry around his lunchbox for him, mate. Right, Andy Reid. Mate, Patrick Mahomes was hopping up and down on one leg, right, and throwing touchdowns.
Mm.
Kyle's supposed to be the offensive guru. Isn't the offensive line on the guru side of the ball?
Oh,
I mean, and
Tony, that's just to amplify on that just a second. He went out and they realized they needed an offensive line fix, and they didn't have any money. They got a pretty decent offensive line this year. I do boo-hoo at that a lot. I really wish the 49ers would make an all-out effort to solidify that offensive line. Do whatever you can to get that better. There must be a way to get that better. Yeah.
The McGlinchey thing, we can solve it like this. Would you rather, T. Williams, I call him Barry White because he's got that deep voice, beard, you know what I mean? He's a big, tall dude. Right? You want a Barry White on the right hand side
too,
as well as the left hand side? Of course you do. All right? So, and everybody seems to forget McGlinchey. If I was a coach, when Trey Lance got injured, all right, he just looked down at him on the field and just jogged off the field. Didn't even offer him a hand to say, do you want to get up, brother? Just left him there, lying on the field. And ran off. I would have got him in the thing and said, replayed that thing about 5 times and said, have you had enough, McGlinchey? Yeah, I have. Go pack your shit and get the hell out of here, bro. You don't leave your quarterback lying on the field. Yeah, and the other thing is, we're going to find out this off-season, like you said, Ronbo, whether the players like Kyle or not, by the amount of free agents that are going to go. Right? If you're a free agent and you want to stay, you're going to be begging the 49ers to sign you, right? Mm-hmm. So is Menahue going to stay? Is Ibukum going to stay? Is J-Dub going to stay?
You know what, those guys you mentioned.
The cornerback that got injured, or the safety, what's his name? E-Man?
Yeah, mostly.
Is he going to stay?
Yeah. Yeah, well, some of those guys are Montague and those guys, they book them. I'm pretty sure they're gonna want to stay because there's not a lot of places for them to go. When we're looking at some of the blue chip players that are, Nick Bosa is probably the biggest one on the list, right? And then after that, I don't know who else is a free agent because Jawan Jennings is a restricted free agent. Wow, I think for the most part, Ayuka's already said he'd like to stay in San Francisco, but he does realize this is a business. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. It's a good point, though. In between now and next year, it may not be an exodus this year, but there could be one next year.
We'll see.
Because I don't know if George Kittle.
Did you see what?
What is his length of his contract?
Jesus Christ, am I getting Alzheimer's disease, Ronbo, or what? Our DC, our old DC.
Our old DC. That's Robert Saleh.
No, the one that just left.
Oh, D'Amico. Yeah.
D'Amico, did you see what D'Amico said when they asked him, what did you learn? What have you learned? And he said, the first thing I learned is that you've got to treat your players like men, because they're fathers, they're husbands, they're this, they're that, and you never throw your players under the bus. So he's learned a bit from the 49ers, hasn't he? Right? Because when Kyle Shanahan gets asked about his quarterback, he'll throw him under the bus and say, oh, he should have stepped up in the pocket.
You know,
or the quarterbacks have got to learn to protect themselves. How about an O-line?
Yeah.
How about an O-line? And then the quarterback can dance around like
you left one out,
Kermit
Tony.
the Frog does.
You left one out. Well, he was supposed to hand. Who's this? Here's a trivia question. He was supposed to give that ball to. He was supposed to hand that off to Debo. Who was that? That was a play option. That's what he said about Trey. He was supposed to give that ball off to Debo. I said, you know, Kyle, even if that's true, I don't know that you should be saying that. You're right. He will defend himself. That's true.
All right. Pro Football Focus, minimum snaps. You know who the number one player was in the 49ers? I'm talking limited snaps, right?
Okay.
Mason.
And I want him to get a lot more.
Okay. Our quarterback went down, all right, and Kyle Shanahan never even called the boys over on the sideline and said, mate, you know what? We are going to run this ball down their throat. We're going to try everything. We're going to hand it off to George Kittle. I'm going to put all the running backs on there. We're not going down in this game. Yeah. We're going to do everything possible to win this game. And another thing.
And Tony, we got to pull up what you're right about a plan B. Sometimes he doesn't come with one. Maybe all the time.
And I reckon Jimmy G and Trey Lance probably asked him to suit up for this game. And he said no. That's probably why they were laughing on the sideline.
That Jimmy did. And you know what? That's the thing. Jimmy was talking to Trey at the time, wasn't he? This is why I think people are really confused in that. I think whatever they were talking about was what they were laughing about. Anyway, Tony, we got to go. I'll be back tomorrow, though. All right?
All right, brother. Shout out to everyone, and see you in the next chapter.
Oh, God, yes. And we'll continue to get rid of somebody. All right, Phil. Night, Tony.
Someone's got to go. All right, mate.
Cheers. And, hey, John Dez.
Yo, Ronbo, what's going on, brother?
John, I'm just, I'm exploring my options. I'm scared, John. You remember them years we had Jimmy T and Chip Kelly was out there, and we knew each and every week who was going to win the game. I'd sit here and say things. We got the shot. We ain't got a damn thing. They beat our ass from the first quarter to the fourth quarter. We set a new record on running backs to be able to run on us in that last year before Kyle left. And then Kyle came, and I was on my knees praying to God, thank you, Lord, thank you. At least my team is not going to be the embarrassment of the NFL each and every week. This is why I haven't gotten over that yet. I can't say get out of here, Kyle. I'm still grateful for not looking like butt cheeks every week. Raider fans won't leave me alone. My family's giving me grief. Let me stop. I'm sorry. Go ahead, John. I'm done.
No. I think a lot of us share the same sentiments that you're talking about right now. Here's the problem, I think. Here's the problem, in my opinion, I think, with our franchise. I think we are a franchise with a fan base that's very spoiled. I think we expect too much just because of our legacy. We expect our quarterback to be the best ever. We expect to have Kyle Shanahan, being the next Bill Walsh. We expect this. We expect that. And so I understand where a lot of our fan base is coming from. I really do. And, I'm kind of like that myself. I do feel like I was defending Kyle for the past 4 years, after the Super Bowl loss, maybe that wasn't on Kyle, even though what happened in Atlanta, maybe that wasn't Kyle, and then the next year, and then the next year, and then the next year, and then the next year.
No, it's not
and then,
changing.
and Rombo, Rombo, I swear to you, I've defended Kyle all these years after the Super Bowl loss, and I cannot respect how he acted in that interview, the season-ending interview. The way we went out this year was very embarrassing, right? It was embarrassing, and you could chalk it up to, oh, it was just an injury. You could chalk it up to, oh, it was Kyle's fault. Oh, you could chalk it up to this. You could chalk it up to that. The common denominator of all these losses is Kyle Shanahan. That's the one common denominator, and I don't think anybody is looking past that, and I think that's why the fan base is torn apart right now. And they're taking it different. They're taking it in different ways. Fire Kyle Shanahan. First of all, no, he's not getting fired. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. And when he does, the
It'll be
team's
probably
not
after he
gonna be the
quits.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by then, I don't think the team is even going to be the same.
True.
So yeah, I'm against that in the first place. You don't just fire Kyle. You don't just trade him. Not after the team he just built. He built this team, from scratch. We all remember
Unlike
the dark
the Rams.
ages.
Yeah. Who were running around still talking trash. McVay came into a situation where all he had to do was pour water and stir. And now they're sitting there talking, McVay, blah, blah, blah. What? Let him start from zero. Let's see how well he do. So.
Yeah. Kyle wanted to build a team around the quarterback. And I get where he's coming from. It's great and all. But we do need a quarterback. And honestly, Ronbo, I do believe we can win with Brock Purdy. I think we can win with Jimmy. I think, we could probably even win with Trey. There's no reason. They give me no reason. I'm talking about the scouting and the coaching staff. They give me no reason to believe that we cannot win with any quarterback. But here's the thing. Why does our O-line suck?
Hey, John, I can answer with it's Kyle's scheme. In order to execute, everybody has to just do their job.
Is it the scheme or is it the
I'm just saying,
O-line?
because Kyle wants to be able to run the ball more. Those guys need to be quick. They need to be out in space. That's why it's not quarterback dependent like a lot of teams are. That team is dependent on execution. If you can execute the play, you could be you or me, as long as you can get the ball where you're supposed to get it on time and in the right place. That's all he asks of a quarterback. You don't have to think a lot. You just got to do your job. That's why they hired the kind of people they did in that offense to do what they do. George Kittle, Debo, Ayuk, all those guys are built to destroy people. Christian McCaffrey, the ultimate Kyle Shanahan player. They put it all together. John, that's why I don't understand. How in the hell did you guys find a way to lose this year? You had everything you needed. Yeah, the defense was not dead good, and you had an offense that would not be stopped. And we found a way.
Yeah, But I agree with a lot of the fan base saying that they didn't appreciate Kyle's lack of accountability. Yeah. I agree with that. Hey, but Ronbo, did you see that Joe Montana interview?
I read about it. I wasn't about to get it. I wouldn't go touch that.
Okay,
because that just people get the wrong idea. Joe's gonna say what Joe says. Him and Young.
Honestly, I'm not really against what he said. About the Niners. Even though Jimmy's leaving or whatever, the smart thing to do would be starting him again. Because all that guy's done is win for this team. When he's not hurt, and I agree with that. And all the Jimmy haters, they can't stand the fact that he said that.
Yeah,
and
I know.
It's like,
The thing is, and another thing about that is, Jimmy's got the most experience in the system. If anybody knows how to run that system by now, it's him. But you know what? 49ers are not going to get into a bidding war with Jimmy. He's going to get paid somewhere. I don't know where. Probably
Yeah.
in Texas. Somebody said Atlanta's involved, you know. So that's just we should have won the Super Bowl with him.
Ronbo, we
There's no
need
more
to
time.
upgrade our O line. We need to upgrade our O
Badly.
line because I don't care I don't care if Tom Brady's back there, Rodgers. They're gonna get killed on that field.
We agree wholeheartedly
That's
on
what
that.
it's looking
That's
like.
why I'm crying now because McGlinchey better come back and have something ready to offer. John, we got to go, though. Good to hear from you again. John, I've not heard from you in a long time. God, man. Good to hear from you again.
I know. I'm sorry, Ronbo. I
know,
tune in all the
life
time.
happens.
I gotta tune in a lot more. But
All
I love
right.
you, Ronbo. Thank you for
Love you
everything,
back,
and
man.
shout out to the faithful, man.
Thanks,
Let's
John.
go, baby.
So hopefully see you soon. I'll be back tomorrow if you got time. All right. All right, John. And we got another John to get to. Hey, John.
Rombo.
John, he is the ultimate sports report, John. Hey, John, come on in, man, because we're sitting there debating, is Kyle Shanahan, does he need to be replaced or not? And if you have reasons one way or the other, please amplify and explain.
So, hey, Rombo, it's been a while, man. I've
Yeah.
been busy,
Months.
working, so I can't call in, but I do watch the show, and
Thanks,
I
John.
listen to all the takes from everybody. But this is just my take. Again.
That's
So
fine.
my opinions, everything is all mine. When it comes to Kyle Shanahan, he's a great play caller. He knows how to design plays. That's what he's been known for. But as a leader, I've always questioned him. I've always questioned some of the things that he does. And there are things that he does really, really good. And the biggest example that really frustrated me, and I'm still mad about it, is that when Brock Purdy went down, I think everyone understood that Josh Johnson was the only other quarterback. And of course, Kyle Juszczyk has said, joking around that he could throw the football when he was in Harvard. He played quarterback. We've seen Christian McCaffrey throw that touchdown pass, against the Rams. And, Deebo Samuel, he can also do running back stuff. And a year ago, he threw a touchdown. So a lot of people have been saying, why did we not use those three guys in different situations once that happened? And, of course, Josh Johnson got hurt. And then he brought back a quarterback that he couldn't even throw the football. He had 6 drives where he only threw the ball twice. And both the times he threw the ball, you can feel the pain. He could not even just swing that ball. He couldn't do it. I felt bad for Brock Purdy.
I did too.
And then another thing that really, frustrated me, if Jimmy Garoppolo could not play, if Kyle was not going to play him, why did he fly to Philadelphia? So, it really shows you, Kyle right there in that game. Like the everyone is showing, Jimmy Garoppolo laughing, it pissed off a lot of people on social media. Oh, he's laughing at the team, what kind of a person he is. So,
you know what? That really annoys me. Jimmy Garoppolo was talking to Trey Lance or somebody over there. It had people say he's laughing at the 49ers losing the game. That is such bull. He was talking to somebody, and he always grins when he talks. That was so misconstrued. But go ahead.
Yeah. And
You think we're going to trade Trey Lance?
He wasn't allowed to dress.
Yeah, may have been laughing about that. Both of them.
Yeah.
But go ahead,
Well-
guys. Let John finish. Go ahead, John.
So at the end of the day, social media got crazy, people
Right.
were making, conspiracy theories, yada, yada. But I don't know why he went to Philadelphia if he wasn't going to play at all.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, Kyle has to realize, that you have to plan, even if it doesn't happen. And hopefully this experience, has realized him that if they make it again to the NFC Championship game, or somehow they make it to the Super Bowl and the quarterback goes down or an important player goes down, and then the other team runs a score up on us and he does this again. And this is the reason why people are so angry. It's like in 2019, we had a 10-point lead. We lost to the Chiefs. Last year, we had a 10-point lead. We lost to the Rams. This game, we were already down to our third-string quarterback, and even the announcers were poking fun at it. Oh, wow, this is a fun situation. 4 quarterbacks going down in the season. So, at the end of the day, when I look at Kyle Shanahan, yeah. So, and why does this happen all the time? Is it the offensive line? I've been listening to callers, do we invest on the offensive line? At the end of the day, like I said a joke, on my channel, because I do have a channel, as a joke. 49ers quarterback, job description, possible injury, as a joke. Because
right, you got to sign an affidavit. You could get hurt.
So,
God,
I know,
it's so true.
I like the Niners. I don't hate Kyle. It's just that he pisses me off, and in some moments, all right, he's a really good coach. I don't want him fired, but I do want him to be on the hot seat. I do want York to say, hey, we've been here 3 times, big games, we've lost them, but again, I'm not a big fan of York anyway, but that's a different story. So just to keep it simple, it's like, I just want the Niners to be consistent. I want a quarterback to stay healthy and stop getting hurt. Because again, when Kyle came over here, get a quarterback, and he didn't do that. And his quarterbacks, Jimmy Garoppolo, I'm sorry for those who don't, has been the most consistent quarterback. So that's
remember, John, Kyle had plans on picking up Kirk Cousins, which was really foolish because Norm, what's his name, over in Washington, hates Kyle and his father. There was no way they were going to make that deal. I really wish Kyle would have realized, Kyle, you're not going to get Cousins. And are we glad we didn't get Cousins? I mean, I don't know. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, that's all I wanted to say, to you, Rumble. But like I said, it's been a while, man. Like I said, I always call in, I watch, but I do have a message for you. I know this is probably old. A lot of people don't even care. But remember, Chicago Michael, he's having a field day on us. He's having a field day on us. So that's why he hasn't called anymore.
No, he knew better.
That's all I wanted to.
Hey, have you seen him over at 49ers Ultimate Report? Because
he pops in, he goofs around. He says, "What happened? We won." But, anyway.
But after week 1, what happened? The thing is, he can't. Mike knew even then. Don't come over here talking because that was week 1. Can you guys sustain beating people up for the rest of the season? And no. So, he would have been meat at some point. So,
anyway, I know you have a lot of callers for Ronbo, so I'm going to let you go. Thanks for just giving me a little time to vent.
John, you can vent anytime you want. Listen, he's 49ers Ultimate Report. You find him right here on YouTube. He's running content. And you'll find Mike over there from Chicago as well. Hey,
anyway,
John.
and of course, yeah. And shout out to Norm. I don't know if he calls in.
No, Norm's been here
all day.
Yeah. All right. John, good to hear from you. Talk to you later. And I see Salvador Bisca says, hey, the best 49ers offense I've seen in my lifetime as a fan were Greg Roman and Kyle Shanahan. Give me Kyle's offense all day. Yeah, Greg Roman was starting to bother me because remember how we were starting to call Greg Roman's plays before they even happened? Greg has no creativity. I mean, Lamar Jackson's laying up in a stretcher. I mean, trying to get paid. That's really. Hey, Brian.
Hey, Ronbo, how are you tonight?
Brian, I'm okay. And I thought I'd just put back on the table the Kyle Shanahan versus don't want Kyle Shanahan argument on the table again. Brian, one of the most down-to-earth people I know. Brian, give me your observation on this. I think you gave a little bit of it the other day, though. But what are you thinking here about this? And is Ayuk right about what's going to happen to the Eagles? I really do believe that's true. But go ahead.
All right. Well, yeah, I think Brandon Ayuk, real quickly, he came out and said how he feels about the team, and I think everyone else can agree. When you don't have a quarterback, that it is what it is.
Yeah.
And if you look at the defense, the defense kept the Eagles from running up and down the field on them. They didn't have a bunch of passing yards on them. Everybody can sit back and say, "Oh, it was a vanilla offense after Purdy got hurt," and then the Eagles were like, "Just don't mess it up. Just run the ball." And yeah, they ran the ball, but again, if you guys go and watch the game too, when the Niners hurts in the end of the game, close to it, he stopped throwing the ball. So the Niners defense didn't lose that game. We didn't have a quarterback, and if Brandon Ayuk, he's correct. If we would have had I don't know, somebody else in there who could have just been able to maneuver the ball.
Anybody but Josh.
Josh Johnson, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Maybe he just was nervous, or I don't know.
Extremely.
And everybody can say it too. When he came up to that point where, right before he fumbled that ball, we were in that game. We were
Yeah.
in that game. He wasn't the reason we were in that game, but he was at least
He kept
at
it.
that point.
He kept,
They were respecting.
Eagles
They
honest.
were respecting that
Yeah.
we could throw the ball potentially, even though he
You
wasn't
can
throwing
run a
like
play
the
or
best
two.
passes.
Exactly.
They were respecting it, and after that, yeah. And then like I know John Jay's great, he's great, and everybody should go like and subscribe to his channel, The Ultimate Report. But and I get it, like why would Jimmy be there if he wasn't? And the other guy who chimed in, why would he be there if he wasn't going to suit up? Well, the same thing with Trey Lance. Why was he there if he wasn't going to suit up? It's a team
Well,
effort, and everybody goes there as
forgot
a
about
team.
that. Good
And I
point.
believe sometime during the week, Jimmy said over there in Philly that he wasn't going to be able to play. But the goal was if Jimmy was able to be healthy for the Super Bowl, he would be suited up for that game. But regardless, it's a team effort, and if anybody can fly there and be
You go
there
ahead
on the
and go.
sidelines, let's go. Let's go. We're all going to that game together. We're winning it together and we're losing it
Support.
together.
Right.
And everybody said it too. Jimmy smiling, that is who Jimmy is.
He's always
Jimmy smiles when he loses, and he smiles when we win, and he does. I've said it a couple times. I didn't like it either. I really didn't.
Well, and
But
the thing is,
okay, the
he was in the
question.
middle of a conversation. The camera shot over to him. People think he was laughing at the game. He was talking to somebody at the time. He wasn't. If he was just standing there staring into space laughing, I get that. But if I'm having a conversation with somebody, I'm talking, I'm making a joke, or he's making a joke, he made me laugh. That doesn't mean I'm laughing at what's going on the field. And why did people go there?
Exactly.
Because they hate him with such a passion. They make assumptions. I said, oh, that's not fair. How do you know what they were talking about?
Exactly. We don't know what they were saying, and then there's so many pictures, and there's pictures before and after, and you can paint whatever, argument you want or write whatever thing you want to. But Trey Lance and him were both standing there. They both were, talking together.
And
So
cutting
if
it
you want
up,
to take
yeah.
it on one person or tag it together, whatever. They weren't playing in the game. So, it really doesn't matter what they said, but, okay, the question, like you said, do we fire Kyle Shanahan? Do we trade him? Do we move on? Well, Ronbo, how many coaches have the Steelers had?
Two that I know of.
I mean, they don't seem to have too many coaches, and they
Tomlin?
seem to make it to playoffs like almost every year, and they seem to trust their coaches and their staff, and they seem to get a good quarterback, and they're relevant, and they have Super Bowls. Let's see. Why don't
That's
we
not
just
always the
hold
answer.
off? Like
I agree. Switch it.
I know.
What was the
I
name of
know
that
everybody
famous
wants to
quarterback,
win.
though? The Steelers. Oh,
Roethlisberger,
No, the
and then,
coach.
even Coward,
Oh, I forgot about it. Okay, they've had three. Cowherd, and
and
before
then Tom
that, the
Sula,
legendary.
and
Uh,
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 Chuck Noll.
Noel, yeah, Noel, Cowherd, and Thomason. That's the only thing I can remember.
And it seems to be working there. They don't seem to be turning over, and they don't seem to be like rebuilding their, team every year. And so I mean, injuries have a lot to do with teams' fortune and luck. And yeah, Kyle doesn't really stand up there and take blame. And that's
That's true.
and he doesn't tell people what's going on either. And I know that makes people mad, but it's like if he goes up there and says, "Hey, we're going to do this off season, and we're going to do this, and we're going to get this player, and then we're going to get this player," then guess what? The other teams know exactly what we're going to do, and they're either going to block us from being able to do that, or outbid us, or play like a cat and mouse business and drive up the price for these players so we can't get this guy.
No coach does
So,
that, Brian.
I mean, at a certain
No
point,
coach does that.
at a certain point, you just have to, it's a bunch of speculation, and I get it. You get mad because you don't know exactly what's going on, but we're not in the building or the locker room knowing what they're doing. We just
Or
support
in
the
the
team.
conference room.
But
Yeah.
like this guy, I mean, 6 years, right? 3 NFC championship games, 1 Super Bowl. I mean, we got to
It's
kind of
hard
like
to
give the guy a little bit of credit.
Yeah, that's why I can't get
And I
real
know we don't
mad.
want to. we don't want to host, NFC championship games or lose them. We want a Super Bowl victory, but at least we're relevant. Hey, Ronbo, thanks for having me on. And
Right.
I got to get going.
Hey, good stuff. I give my best to the family, and we'll look for. I'll be back tomorrow looking for you.
I'll be back, and I'll be able to talk a little bit longer.
All right. We're out of time anyway. Thanks, fam.
Everybody just stay faithful and trust the process. Good night.
Hey, good night, fam. Godzilla! Jimmy G, the only quarterback to stay healthy for a full season in Kyle Shanahan's era. Go figure. And the funny thing about it is that's the only year we went to the Super Bowl. And we failed it with a goddamn point lead. It was back to 5 and 6 minutes ago. Now, what is it? Is anybody keeping score? I think Kyle has, it might be 3-2. It's about to get tied up as Trash rolls in. Here's Trash, one of the founding members of TNT. Here's Trash from Atlanta, GA. Trash, get on in here. I got the red and gold if you want me to sprinkle it around.
Go on and put some red and gold in. Let's start it off.
Trash, we got a time limit because I know you get ready to hold church. But go ahead, I love it.
Well, no, Rumbo. I told you, I done seen better days when Kyle Shanahan. So I ain't, I'm not on there. I told you I don't walk it back against Kyle Shanahan. I'm not for getting rid of Kyle Shanahan, and I said it.
Wait. Trash, wait, what did you say? What? You're not.
I'm not one for getting rid of it.
Oh, you just want to change. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought, okay.
He just got to, what I'm saying? Yeah, I said he got to get better. He got to get better as a head football coach. Rumbo, really, Kyle got to put these players in their place. Just like he put Jimmy Ward in his place and he told Jimmy to come in his office.
He hasn't got over
Jimmy
that yet.
said, well, I hope you're going to like riding the bench. Hey, and Jimmy was like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you put somebody in their place. Yeah, you shot, He wasn't expecting that. He thought he had some leverage, But that's how you have to do it sometimes. It's a shrewd bit. You gotta take command of your team.
That's what Belichick would have did.
These guys hollering out his quarterback versus that quarterback. I'm sick and tired of hearing it. I really am. Whatever quarterback we're going to next season with, everybody should be 100% behind the quarterback. Everybody. That's the only way you're gonna be successful, Ronbo. And if it takes getting rid of Juice and the boys, I mean, you gonna have to do some strong, stern talking to them then. You know what I'm saying?
Can we just have a talk with him, call him in the office and say, listen, guys, in order for me to keep order on this club, I need for you veterans to cooperate. Don't run around the room saying things like what you said. Come to me with your issues or something like that. I can't get rid of those guys, Stress. You know what, though? You're right about this.
No.
They know who they are.
No. Yeah, right. I mean, so Killer's in that group, too. We ain't going to get rid of Killer. But I'm just saying.
Juicy.
It's something you put the threat out there like you want to get rid of them, but you really don't. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know how that goes. We can always threaten you, but nevertheless, we want to keep you. But they got to stop this. I mean, that's why we are where we are now. We don't deserve to be in playing in the bowl game, man. We still a team that's divided. We are. Because if you got guys on the team feeling the way they talking, man, no, man, that's not a team. That's not a complete team. That's not a championship team. Got to cut this out. Really, we do. And it starts.
Trash, give me some examples of what you mean when you say that they're not together. Because I'm a little confused on that point, though. Because you don't think they were united in their effort to win that ball game?
When you had okay, let's put it like this. When Trey went down, and you had Juice to say, and he said it because I saw him say it. He said, "Oh, well, now it feels like Niners football now."
After Juice, after Trey went down.
After Trey went down, remember in the locker room after the game, he said, "Now that felt like Niners football." They won, remember? Ooh, and it was like,
I missed that.
And I was like, bro, you don't say stuff. The captain of the ship just went down. They were partying in the locker room like it was 1999. We were doing Prince.
I didn't. A lot of times I don't know what's going on in that locker room afterward because I don't really read anything. But other than.
Yeah.
But
That's
I didn't
when
know.
Trey went down. Yeah, he said that. He said that felt like Niners football when they went out there and won the game when Jimmy came back in. And I'm like, bro,
That's not the case.
nah,
Not
nah.
from a leader. Not from a guy that's been on a team for years. That's the last thing you do.
Yeah. That's poor leadership right there. You don't say that. You don't say that.
That was all
First thing out of your mouth, please. Get well. First of all, I want to say first and foremost, I want to wish Trey a speedy recovery. All I could think about, all the team could think about was Trey going down. You know what I'm saying?
And
we were
we're
able to pull
going to
the
try to
out.
win this for him or something like that.
Right.
That was what real 49er football looked like. You know, that didn't make any sense because earlier he was delighted that Trey was coming on as a starter. I don't understand. That's really weird.
Yeah, you can go back and look it up, Ronbo.
No, I don't want to read it because you know what?
He
That
said
just
it right
sucks.
after the game,
That's
and I was
terrible.
like, see, and I said, you know what? I knew then. I said, see, you got a divided locker room here. You got everybody that's want to, usher in the new quarterback, which is Trey, and then you got half on, Jimmy guys. This is before the Purdy thing, so we just dysfunctional, and Cal got to get it. He got to take the rings, man. Got to take the rings, and you remember the Budweiser horses back in the day? You know what I'm saying?
The Clydesdales.
They were in unison.
They're in
The
step.
Clydesdales, you know what I'm saying? They was in unison, Ronbo. That's how we got to be.
Oh, you know what though?
Championship teams are
We're-
in unison.
But Trez, there's some teams that you walk in there and it looks like Animal House. I mean, you see objects flying through the air and everything else to each other. I compare the 49ers locker room compared to that Dallas Cowboys locker room. Remember that time that reporter was standing outside, you hear all that shouting inside that room, and he was standing outside?
Yeah.
And I said, all hell that broke loose in Dallas. So at least we're not that bad. Oh. But anyway.
We're not. And like I said, I just want us to, and everybody's saying, the quest for six.
Oh.
Well, the quest for six, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about getting this team together, getting on the same page. Kyle gotta get better as a head football coach and make the right decisions. You know what I'm saying? I'm not for getting rid of Kyle Shanahan. He's proven.
We looked harmonious for a minute in the locker room. Maybe it was, I don't know, but
right. I mean, he's proven he's a good quarterback. Yeah. I mean, he's a good head coach. He's proven it. He's proven that he can go out there and win games.
But he's had them
He
lapses.
took this team.
Well, Tress,
right.
We got to go. But I didn't see it coming. I couldn't remember exactly what you said last time, but I knew you weren't happy with Kyle's performance. But you didn't mean the overall. You meant a lot of areas he needs to step up. Okay.
Right. I just say he has to get better as a head football coach for this team. And but like I said, I've been walked that back.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So you can put me on the fence.
Okay. All right, just fix it. Don't throw it away. All right.
Shout out.
Always
to
appreciate you, Trez.
Shout out to you and production. Have a good one.
You too, fam. Night, Trez.
All right.
Okay, so looks like Kyle, as far as the voting goes at this point, he's still the coach. Let's go see what Jamel has to say. Jamel. Jamel might be tied up. Let's come back to him. Where's Jamel asleep? Okay. Area code is 707. Michael. Quest for 6 crutches because our quarterbacks can't stay up. Oh! So, but, that's the thing. I would like to see one more time when the quarterback stays on the field from beginning to end how it looks. I do want to see that. But I don't expect it. As 49er fans at this point, we don't expect a quarterback to survive the whole season. This is why, honestly, I'm going to tell you the truth, and I hope nobody takes this the wrong way. But between Trez and Brock, we need a third quarterback. If we don't get one, and they say, well, the 49ers are going to, Josh, oh! Oh, no, Kyle, no, John. You've got to find somebody, anybody, homie. No. 707 area code. Come on in.
Ronbo.
Yeah, who is this?
Ronbo.
Yeah. What is your name?
This is the real 49er, if you remember me talking.
I do remember you calling it your name. Yeah. Okay. We're the 49. Yeah, come on in then and share with us.
Yeah. Well,
your feeling on the matter.
I never had a chance to tell you, but Greasy is my uncle. And he's
the coach Greasy?
He's not by blood, but he's my uncle. We call him uncle because he's been in my dad's life for a long time.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Wow.
And I made him because I can't stand half the crap that these guys come on the show to say about Shanahan, Jimmy Garoppolo, and all these other players. And I made him, because I knew this was going to happen, I made him come on to the show and listen to your show on, Tuesday.
Really?
And he was so irate, man. He was just pissed off. He just couldn't stand it. He was so mad because of the things that people were saying about Shanahan. And the one guy he does not like is Fat Show.
Big Show.
He does not like. No, he's not big. He's fat. He's Fat Show. He does not like him at all. He thinks he's an arrogant person. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He remembers me telling him a while back that Shanahan's losing the locker room. He said that guy, Shanahan's never lost the locker room, ever. He's got his players standing by him 100%. And for people to come in, he said, it sounds like you guys got a lot of GMs coming in here, a lot of coaches coming here saying, well, if all you have to do is this and this, and if Shanahan does it like this, this can happen. If he plays it like that, that can happen. And he's like turning his head going, what are these guys talking about? If it's so easy, why aren't they out there doing this? It's so easy to nitpick people from a standby, like standing back and looking at it. It's easy to nitpick and actually be on the damn field and doing their job.
Yeah.
It's like the guy that I forget what his name was, 81, when he getting blocked, the one defender, and got Brock Purdy hurt.
Oh, that's the tight end, Tyler Croft.
Yeah, Croft.
Yeah.
He got his ass chewed out when he got on that freaking sideline. And he goes, what's Shanahan supposed to do? They practice this. They did this in the practice. They did this when they were practicing. He hit it every time. He freaking missed his goddamn play. And that's supposed to be Shanahan's fault? He doesn't understand what people are thinking. He just doesn't get it. And that's Shanahan's fault when he tells the players how to do their job, and they do it on practice, and they screw up in the play at the game, and that's Shanahan's fault. It's just so easy to nitpick and point the finger at people. I mean, God damn it! It's like Shanahan doesn't just go to a playoff game. He goes all the way to the end. Yes, we didn't make it to the Super Bowl, obviously, because of the injuries. But he makes it every time, one game before the Super Bowl. He takes us all the way to the end. Every single time he gets into the playoffs. We're not like these other teams that just come in and we're one and done, two and done. He goes all the way to the end every single time he makes it to the playoffs. And this is a coach you want to get rid of because he either makes mistakes or a lot of his players make mistakes, but this is his fault, and you want to get rid of him? I can tell you right now, if he walked out, just like Greasy said, if he walks right out that door, before he walks out that door, he's got a job waiting for him.
Oh, I know that. I mean, I think everybody knows Shanahan leaves us. He doesn't go a night without getting offers that same day. So, yeah, I agree.
It's just, you know what I mean, Ronbo? It doesn't make any sense, man. It's just like, nobody gives anybody a chance. Like you get a lot of these guys, and I'm done with him. I'm sick of him. Well, then be done with them. Go somewhere else. Find another team if you don't like it. Shanahan ain't going nowhere. Greasy made that very clear, too. He ain't going anywhere. And he remembers me telling him about everybody giving his name crap because they're like, why would Shanahan? Because everybody thought that this guy wasn't all that greasy, being the new quarterbacks coach. I told him what everybody was saying. He goes, what? He goes, man, they're not going to give me a chance. Let me work with these guys a little bit longer.
But everybody has, most people, you may find somebody here and there, most people love the job he did. Jimmy looked better this year. Purdy looked unreasonably good. And
but
somebody's got to take
the beginning.
I know, but somebody's got to take the credit for it. Yeah. So,
I know, but in the beginning, everybody, who is this guy? Why would he get greased? Who is this guy? And it's like they don't give him a chance. And look what he did. And he said that he has to say that Jimmy Garoppolo, he loves Jimmy Garoppolo. He thinks he is a great quarterback. He thinks he's got a lot of potential. And he knows that, yes, Shanahan likes his way, likes things to be done his way. And he actually said he had a talk with Jimmy Garoppolo this year when he started teaching him. He said that he taught him how to, hey, Jimmy, if the play doesn't look like it's going to happen, you need to make your own choices and get out of the pocket and make your own choices and make a play. You have to get off script. You have to, Jimmy. You can't count on every game play that he gives you. Shanahan tries to do the best he can at giving you plays, but you have to be the quarterback when you're in there, and you have to make those choices on your own sometimes. And that's why you started seeing Jimmy really start coming together, making good choices.
I always knew when he first came, he was doing that. And then all of a sudden, here's what we do. And then you see them, what do I do now? I got to stay with the play. The receiver screwed up, or I can't find, or he's late, or okay, so that's just ridiculous. And then, like you're saying, we saw a free Jimmy this year, and that's why we won those 5 straight after they got his preseason 2 games out of the way. But you know what?
Yeah, and he.
Tell you what, good stuff. 49. What is your name again?
It's Real 49.
The Real 49. Well, I'm going to we'll put your name down this time. So next time you call, I'll know. Real 49. That was great insight. And tell Uncle Greasy that, I like him. I didn't know what he was about when he first came, but I like him after a while. All right.
No, he's good, but you guys got to give these guys chances. Got to give Shannon a chance. He needs a front line. That's one thing Greasy agrees on. He needs to beef up the front line. He needs to. No matter what quarterback you put in there, it's not safe if you don't have a front line.
Well,
if you watch Mahomes,
that's Brady,
look
Mahomes
at Mahomes
too.
Yeah, but no, look at Mahomes. Watch some of his plays because I've been watching his plays. Look at him playing football. He's protected most of the time. Yeah. That's why he gets those balls out.
He wasn't, but you know what? He wasn't in that Super Bowl. He was running for his life. Minus what? That's what bad offensive line will do.
He was running backwards.
We got to go.
He ran backwards on that one.
The Real 49.
You got it.
Listen, get back in anytime you want. We're looking for you. All right. Have a great night.
Bye-bye.
Night, fam.
You too. Bye.
Interesting. Are you ready for some Latino heat? Mamacita. Latino heat! Latino heat! Latino heat! It's Emilio on a Sunday. Emilio!
What's happening?
Emilio, maybe you know. There she is. Emilio, see, the thing is, like, last time we were supposed to be talking about something else. You know how this show starts off? We'll talk about one thing and then we go to another. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and let this play all the way out. Last time we talked about something else. And first thing we did was got right on Kyle Shanahan. let's go ahead and work it out. And I believe you had something to say about it last time. But it was Emilio-like. It was sort of like calm and everything. Emilio, I'm just trying to find out, is it that do we want to get rid of Shanahan and bring somebody else in here? Or do we want Shanahan to straighten up like Trez said?
No, I'm fine with Shanahan. I told you my beef in the beginning of the season what I had with Shanahan. It was too much talent on this team not to score 30 points a game.
I remember that.
It's just funny that Purdy came in and it started happening. I don't know. Trey couldn't find a way to do it. Jimmy couldn't find a way to do it. Purdy comes in and we're averaging 30 points a game.
Emilio, we was on a 5-game win streak before Purdy came in. What do you mean?
Still wasn't putting up 30 points, Ronbo.
I believe
not averaging 30 points
ask the Cardinals.
No, Ronbo.
Over
can go back.
25.
We can go
Go
back
back.
and look, Ronbo.
I'll send you a link.
Ronbo,
I'll
there's
send you a
stats,
link.
Ronbo.
Go ahead. I told you when what's his name came, look out now. That offense needs a couple more weeks. Watch him roll.
Oh, it livened up with McCaffrey, but no, it wasn't averaging 30 points until
It was getting there.
Purdy
It was
started
getting there.
being
You had
quarterback.
some high-scoring games.
It was-
Not all of them,
Yeah.
but some of them. And I know, Jimmy, though, it wasn't dead, no-scoring 49ers after McCaffrey showed up, except for that, of course, the game we lost to the Chiefs. And the next game, we got away. And then, of course, the Chargers was tough. And the rest. But the rest of it, come on, man, they was scoring. They was scoring.
No,
Anyway, go ahead.
fun,
Make your
man.
point.
I'm not
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna go back and forth with this either way. But no, I'm fine with Shanahan. I don't have a problem with him. I just, like I told you what my thing was. I'm like, just we lost the game because of the injury. We need to beef up the line. That's my whole thing. I'm fine with Shanahan at this point. Unless he starts doing something he shouldn't be doing starting next season, then I have a problem. But I'm good with Shanahan. Like I said, he had moments where he irritated me. Some play calls he shouldn't have called something. But I've been fine with Shanahan since he's been here. It's just
compared to what we had. See, that's what people got to look at.
We just can't.
After Harbaugh, we
no,
we were dead meat.
No, before Harbaugh, we were crap. So.
Before and after, I mean,
I guess.
Damn.
Like I said, if you can go through years with before the Harbaugh years, you shouldn't be talking because we've had worse years than Tom Sula and Chip Kelly. Those
what I'm
weren't
saying.
as bad.
I was scared to death that Harbaugh was leaving. So here
and,
we go, and sure enough,
Mike
that's
Nolan
what we did.
was trying. No, those were we had 10 bad years before Harbaugh got there. So the Tom Sula years and the Chip Kelly that wasn't as bad.
That was a short pain, but you know what? Jed woke up in time because he could have hired Tom Sula. Chip Kelly one more year. He could have. He just that last game, he went down to the field to get. Hey, look, we're gonna have to Chip. I really appreciate you, but listen, we have to go. Well, you're gonna have to go. And that was the end of that. He fired him that same night. Remember? Damn.
Yeah, no, but at the same time, the person who brought Shanahan here was the mom, was the sister. It wasn't York. The mom had to get involved.
Oh, I forgot about that. Denise.
Yeah, there you go. That's Denise. If it wasn't for her, we would have never had Shanahan. She stepped in. She was getting tired of this, the whole BS. Like, you know what? We need to start winning.
I wanted Denise to take over, but she was running the hockey team.
Yeah. Well, she didn't want nothing to do with it. That's why she ended up giving it to the husband. I mean, the husband didn't know what the hell he was doing. Jed didn't. Wasn't his name John York or whatever? He didn't know what the hell he was doing. So that's why.
No, but then he just hired the wrong. He just had the wrong fact. Instead of getting Jed, he should have hired Denise. And if you put Denise in there, I think she would. I couldn't. It distorted. I couldn't hear that. But Denise would have probably did a better job in the first place.
Yeah. But anyway. Either way, like I said, I've said bad things about Shanahan. I've heard other people, but to me, like I said, I've never really had a real problem with Shanahan, and but like I said, we just lost because that's the one thing we need to do. It's just we need a better line.
Good.
That's been our problem for the last couple of years. If you really notice, our quarterback's getting hurt over the years.
Oh yeah,
that's a big problem.
It stands out like a sore thumb.
It's just the line.
Remember, we were talking about the secondary. They got real aggressive on the secondary last year. And we had a great secondary if they could have stayed healthy. But again,
this year,
injuries.
This year, they have to
offensive
because if you really look at it, it's a bad way just to think about it with Tom Brady and the Patriots. What is their number one thing? Where do they spend most of their money most of the years?
Got big Trent Williams out there.
They always got average receivers and
they always have premier offensive linemen.
Defense. The only thing they always paid for was an offensive line. I said, I don't want Tom Brady getting hurt. Tom Brady should not get hurt.
That's the way you're going to win games. If you got a decent quarterback and a good system. I mean, when he got big Trent Brown. Wait, was that his first name? And took our guy.
Yeah, Trent Brown. Yeah.
And then we have Mike Lynch.
Yeah, and the Patriots paid him. So and he won a Super Bowl the next year. He went to the Patriots. So that tells you We
Anyway.
need to buy an offensive line. That's one problem they need to focus on. I mean, I get we're gonna, pass rushers. The whole thing is if we
Well, you
get
got to
to
be
the quarterback,
athletic.
and that's
You
all
gotta be
good and
athletic.
dandy. But if we cannot protect our quarterback,
Then you're going to lose.
we're
and
never going to win a Super. Honestly,
they're finding out
I
now.
honestly don't think we're going to win a Super Bowl if we cannot find a way to protect our quarterback. Because if you think of it, Joe had a good line.
Emilio.
Steve Young had a good line.
Yeah.
And we haven't had one since.
Every quarterback has a decent line if it's winning anything. Emilio, I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to be back tomorrow and bring that little lady. And I'm going to tell you what, y'all have a great night. All right?
Yeah, you too.
All right, fam.
Night.
Appreciate you, Emilio.
Night.
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 The Big Show says this. I don't know. I didn't know my opinions were that impactful. I'm not here to coddle people's feelings. I voice my frustration like everyone else. That's what they give us this platform for. I gave Kyle 4 years. Show, I ain't mad at you. Show, you know what? You may be, other than maybe people knowing it's the Ronbo Sports Show, I think there's nobody who doesn't know you, Show. This is the fact that, like you say, you don't pull no punches. Show lets you have it. And that's what we do. We encourage that. Go ahead, don't worry about, and most people don't. But Show, you seem to be the best at it as far as getting to the point where people, where's JJ? I'm surprised he's not messing with you. Show, thanks for that contribution, fam. Username 0331. What coach would you want? This is my question. I'm just wondering why a Super Bowl appearance and 2 conference championship appearances is a bad thing. No rings, so fired. Fam, I gotta agree. That's too much. You make adjustments, you do this and that, but I'm not starting all over again. I just can't stand it. Are we up here? 706 area code.
Hello, hey, Ronbo.
Hi.
This is Donna Bell, 1111. How are you?
Donna Bell, I'm a little confused by some of the opinions that are going around, and I'm a little disappointed because the fact is, the fact of the matter is, we do not, after all these appearances, getting all the way to that well, not drinking the water, we're not wearing any ring. Donna Bell, I've seen you on social media, haven't I?
Yes, you have.
Your name? I've seen that name.
On my YouTube, not my YouTube, my Yahoo. So I got kicked out of that, and I had to go around about a way to get to you. But here's what I want to say.
All right.
I wasn't able to look at the NFC Championship game.
Oh, good.
But I want y'all to know, 49er fans, I fasted and prayed that whole week. But I felt in my spirit, y'all know I'm a Christian, those that remember me from back when I was with you. And I'm telling you, the Holy Spirit let me know we were not going to win. I knew we were not. And I didn't watch it. I couldn't. But what I will say is this. Kyle Shanahan, no, he shouldn't be fired. However, there is an issue with him. He is full of pride. And as I understand it, I believe he told Jimmy Ward, you either play the position that I want you to play or you can ride the bench. I also have come on the knowledge there's some problems within the locker room with regard to Kyle Shanahan kind of has his clique, if you will.
Uh-oh.
So there are those that kiss up to him kind of, and then those that he likes. I've never really been a fan of the Shanahans because Mike and his son Kyle, they did a number on RG3. He was a good quarterback. If you remember back when he played under them, and back when it's all said and done, he's now an analyst. Kyle Shanahan is a problem. Is he good offensively? Yes, he's good. But, all money ain't good money. That's a pedestrian term. So, yes, he's good. I'm not saying he should be fired, but there is issues in the locker room. I recall, what's his name? I can't even remember his name. George Kittle. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
George Kittle, I know this season, in the beginning, he was more of a blocker. He wasn't even playing the tight end position. And if you notice, as the weeks progressed, and then Purdy came in, he started getting him the ball. And he even started cutting in on his teammates and grabbing some of those balls for scores.
Twice.
if you remember that.
Yep.
So that gave me some insight. There's a little problem because as I understand, you're supposed to do what the coach say.
Mm-hmm.
And certain comments they made in interviews with the, media and stuff. It's problems in that locker room, and they are caused due to Kyle. Now, that's what I believe. Do I want to fire? No, because who will replace him?
See.
However, something's got to change, because then you got Jimmy Ward making comments as far as, I love my brothers, this family, but if I ain't here next year, that lets me know there are problems. And it's all due to Kyle. He's the head coach. I mean, let's keep it real.
Donnabelle, one question on the Jimmy Ward situation. Now, if Jimmy walks up and you're in charge, you're Kyle Shanahan, and he says, Coach, I want to play safety. And if I say, Jimmy, I need you where you are right now. You're doing a great job for us. And he says, yeah, but I'd rather play safety. Okay, listen, you want to play safety? Would you rather ride the bench? Because I don't need another safety. What do you do? I don't know what else Kyle could say. He could say we could talk about it later, or how do you do?
Okay. Well, and that's a good question. That is a good question. And like I said, yeah, he is supposed to do what the head coach says. So I get that. But I know there's some problems within that locker room. I never thought that Tom Brady was a good choice because, Tom wants to be the leader with regard to the offense. He wants
that's right.
everything.
Him and Kyle would not have gotten along for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, Kyle ain't going to let him do it. So I never wanted him because I knew that was going to be the problem.
And I knew he was never coming for that reason, too. There's no way. Lynch might have wanted him, but you never heard Kyle screaming and yelling how bad he wanted Tom Brady.
No. And I don't know what they're going to do as far as a quarterback. That's another issue. I feel so sorry for Brock Purdy, bless his heart. And, the tight end, I forget his name.
Tyler Croft.
But wow.
The one who missed the block?
He couldn't handle it.
Yeah, but the real 49er came in, they do practice. In practice, they go over those scenarios over and over and over. But when the lights come on and the big show is on, yes, things like what happened do happen. Probably more often than not.
Yeah. I don't know. I love my 49ers. I've been a fan since the 80s. And, but I mean, that stuff happens and there are issues. But I understand if you're not part of Kyle's clique, you got issues. I don't think he wanted Trey Lance. I don't think he wanted Trey Lance.
I never indulged in that conversation, but Kyle exposed himself, a couple of months ago when he says I was torn between Trey Lance and Mac Jones. I knew it. They talked him into Trey. But then there were some other things being said that made you think that wasn't the case. And I said, that.
I don't think he wanted Trey Lance. Yeah. What do we do?
Well, I'm worried about I'm worried for Trey because if Kyle's going to try to use him and continue the concepts of his offense and not actually design it for Trey to work, there's going to be a problem there. Well, you know what?
It already is a problem.
Well, yeah. I mean, I do remember you now. You used to be in the chat all the time. I remember I haven't saw you in a long time.
Yeah. Do you think Jimmy G was ready to go back on the field, meaning healed enough to be able to move?
I think if Kyle would have let him come back and play, I think he would have went back out there, foot hurting and all. It's just, Kyle had faith in Brock Purdy, which he should have. But don't tell me you got faith in Josh Johnson. Oh, Josh was scared to death.
And he's been on like 13 teams. Why would they even get him?
There's a reason for that. Josh, he's not a you can use it for practice, but you can't use it for anything serious. Annabelle, we got to go, though. Great to hear from you.
Okay.
And anytime
I'm
you got
glad
time.
And Niner fans, don't worry about them lambs in our comment section. They just talking out of Saturday night because they ain't did nothing but lose.
Thank you.
So
and Gene D leading the Hawks to contingent. Yeah, they just
and then the Eagles fan, and you know what? They're bandwagon fans. They slide in because they team on the couch already.
I know.
And we still viable in the season or postseason. So love you all. God bless
Thanks,
And
Annabelle.
I'll
Love
talk
you
to
back.
you bang, bang, bang again.
Looking forward to it. Annabelle, have a great night. We're going to be okay. All right. Talk to you later.
Yeah, we will.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And Jamel. You know, I think Jamel is asleep. That was him snoring a little while ago. Yo, JJ.
Cliff got the boot. Pete Carroll still chewing on that nasty goop. And Sean McVay play call like poop. What's up, Ronbo? You know who this is.
I know, because you know you always bring in that good time. But y'all, you guys crawling around and they're like a bunch of roaches. You know we see you. Boy, they just got to be around.
Rombo. A lot of these callers, they've been right on about a lot of things. 49ers fans are spoiled. Yes, because Ronbo, we dodged the bullet. Because first of all, Trey Lance went down. That was our starting quarterback. We keep forgetting that. And we had the luck that Jimmy Garoppolo was still on our roster and we still had a chance that season. Any other team, they starting quarterback go down, they already thinking, man, it's time to start thinking about next season. Then we dodged another bullet when he got hurt and our third string happened to be good. Ronbo, when was the last time a third string quarterback had to even come in a game? I can't even remember the last time a third stringer had to come in a game. So we got lucky twice. Y'all thought lightning was gonna hit in a bottle 3 times, bro? That wasn't gonna happen.
Jay, I'm actually figuring the gods are up above watching. Well, what am I supposed to do? Are you going to handle it? I've given him 4 quarterbacks. What am I going to do? We can't get over this bump. This weird goes unbelievable. You know the Eagles ain't that good. Oh.
Yeah, the Eagles ain't that good. And, I mean, Brombo, as far as Kyle is, I feel the same way I feel about Jimmy, I feel the same way about Kyle. If they bring them back, okay. If they don't, I don't care. Because it's not about Kyle at this point. And I'm going to keep calling them out. I'm going to skip over John because, John, you don't do anything. You just sit and smile. Jed York, my brother. Rombo, we see Jed 3 times a year. Draft night, a game of the week, and during the playoffs. Other than that, Jed, you're nowhere to be found. One thing I'll say about Jerry Jones, when something needs to be addressed about the team, Jerry gonna say some shit about that team. He's not gonna let something keep constantly going.
But Jay, let me just call this to your attention real quick because the fact of the matter is, York used to be too involved, and that's how come Harbaugh is gone because he was down there in the office talking when he should have been talking.
But Rambo, look at what our team was doing. Look at what our team was doing, Rambo.
Well, yeah.
Look at what our team was doing. Look at what our team was doing. Now look at what Harbaugh did compared to what Cal has done. I mean, Jed, you need to put your foot down. Kyle, you don't have to get fired, but he never feels pressured like his job is on the line. You know why? Because Jed gonna sit back and just let Kyle do whatever. He ain't pressured. He's not pressured at all. He's not pressured. Jed, you need to. I don't know how you get a new contract after 2 losing seasons and losing a Super Bowl. I don't get that, but whatever. Jed, you need to step up. And last but not least, Rombo, I don't know why people keep saying the offensive line needs an upgrade. No, the right tackle position needs an upgrade because Mike McGlinchey has gotten numerous. Rombo, he got Jimmy hurt the first time against Kansas City. Go back and watch that play. He had got pressure on Mike McGlinchey's guy.
Jay makes a great point. There's nothing wrong with Trent and Aaron.
Ain't nothing wrong with Aaron. Ain't nothing, man. Burford could get better, and Brindle he was cheap and a good player.
Brindle was good, way better than anybody expected.
It's Mike McFloppy. It's always Mike. Gets people hurt every game, Rombo. 49ers don't give up a lot of sacks, but the ones we give up be big, nasty, like season-ending hits every time.
I know.
It's always the ones that you go like,
came in untouched. Most of the time.
Rombo,
I don't know what they're going to do, Jay.
We gave up Trent Brown. We gave up Trent Brown for McGlinchey.
Didn't give up nothing.
Trent Brown wasn't the best run blocker, Rombo, but I'm gonna say this right now. I'll take the worst I'll take the worst run blocking right tackle in the league over the worst pass blocking tackle in the league, because that worst run blocking tight tackle, he's not gonna get your quarterback hurt. That worst pass blocking tackle, he's gonna get your quarterback hurt.
Jalen, what's that big tackle over in Kansas City? He's a free agent. The one I wanted out of the draft years ago from Oklahoma.
I feel Orlando Brown.
Yeah, do you know he's gonna cost some money though, but he's a free agent. If the Chiefs can't afford him, the 49ers ought to be on that in a heartbeat. Whatever it takes. Don't sign Mike McGlinchey. You've already saved money right there, and let somebody else go. Get him. That's a monster.
Man, Ronbo, I'm at this point, man, it's Jed. I'm not saying shit else about Kyle, Ronbo. At this point, it's Jed. And everybody's saying that the offensive line needs to be upgraded. No, the right tackle position needs to be upgraded.
Yeah.
It's not Aaron. Aaron Banks isn't the problem. Trent isn't the problem. Jake Brendel, if we can bring him back for cheap, that's a steal. He did
Maybe
good
not.
this year.
He might go to Texas, but we'll see.
But it's always Mike McGlinchey. He's a cardio run away from being a third string tight end, Rombo. He can't do anything.
Problem is,
he needs to go. And Jed, you
Jay.
need to put. That's fine, Rombo. I will take the best. I will take the worst run blocker over the worst pass blocker, because the worst pass blocker is going to get your quarterback killed. At worst, the worst run blocker is bad at running. We'll just run to the other side. You can overload the bad pass blocking side. You overload the bad run blocking side, we finna run to the left. Come on,
every premier every premier pass rusher in the league leaves Trent Williams alone. Why would I be bothered with that when I can go to the other side? You know, it is worrisome. Anyway,
Mike McGlinchey, Jed York, y'all need to step up. And Niner fans, we need to stop acting like we didn't get 2 chances with Jimmy and Brock, because our season could have been over against Seattle. It could have. Because if Jimmy wasn't on the roster, Rombo, I don't think Brock could have came in that second week of the season and looked the same way he did later on.
Yeah, he needed some time. That practice squad taught him all he needed to know, apparently. He's going to get better. Fam, we're going to go, and I'll be back tomorrow.
Man, Cliff got the boot. Man, nah. We still the kings of the West, Rombo. The kings of the West. The Los Angeles Rams are a mess. Tyler's knee needs a 2-year rest. And goddamn it, Gene D, y'all team still smells like funky breath. Rombo, let me get a Niner shout out. Faithful, let's stay strong. We got this. Jay, you need to step up. The Raiders, y'all lost to Nick Mullins. I ain't gonna never forget that.
Janet, you guys pissed him off. Janet, have a good night, fam. Well, Bill, come on in here, Bill.
Rombo.
Yes, Bill. You know what we're talking about
I need
tonight.
to be able to reach out on Facebook. I'm not going to announce this live. I don't want your channel demonetized nor banned.
Okay.
I want to send you a link. I want you to watch it, and sometime we'll meet up and we'll discuss it alone. Other than that, Kyle's not the issue. After you see this link, you'll know why. Jed York.
That's
Man, I'm not going to go with Jed.
That's what Jalen just
I'm
said.
going to skip Jed, and I'm going to go with Roger Goodell. You are going to be exposed very soon. That's all I got to say. The leak is out. It is out, and the smoking gun is there. I'm not going to say it. I'll let the video speak for itself. With that being said, the fix is in, Rombo. So I thought it would be the Chiefs. Sadly mistaken. Eagles 37, Chiefs 34. You heard it first. Now, with that being said, we're going to skip them. I don't want to talk about that. We can get all the blockers, all we want. What we need to do is find out why. What is up with what did Eddie DeBarlo do? Is the question.
There was something illegal he did. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Explain. Go ahead.
You know, what's up with why does the league skip them every year? We're good, I know, and all that, but you know, all I gotta say is, you know, hopefully next year is gonna be our year. Maybe if you see this video, I don't know. I'm not going with that.
Oh, let me see, like, I'll take a look at
All
that.
right. Yeah, I need you to give me a link. I can send this video. I watched it. I watched the video, and the guy was just spitting out a bunch of stuff, showing video. He wasn't talking like, "Don't take my word. I want you to watch this, that,
Bill,
this, that, and plus." And he kept,
do you have social media, or how do you are you
I
on?
have Facebook. Where you at on Facebook?
Oh yeah, you can go Ronbo Sports on Facebook.
Ronbo Sports. I'll have to find it. Send you a link there to watch it. You put it out there. That's why I was quiet last time. I was trying to process it, and
you knew we were going to
take
lose
it in.
last week. Yeah.
Nah, I didn't. I didn't think they would be stupid to do that. But that would have been more money for Purdy to win and the Niners than the Eagles. But, you know,
yeah,
they had it planned, you know.
Yeah, the Eagles.
Let me make this clear. What is next Sunday? Can you name that?
Well, it's Super Bowl Sunday. I mean, other than
No. Whose birthday is it next Sunday?
Oh, please. Is one of the players' birthday? Roger Goodell?
No, it is Abraham Lincoln's birthday next week. Supposedly.
I forgot. It's February the 14th. How can I forget that date? You're right.
Uh-huh. And the Super Bowl was hosted where?
Well, all over America. Well, in the South.
Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania.
Well, that's where it ended, right?
Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Where's the Eagles at?
I love the way you connected these dots, Bill. Okay. In Philly.
I'm not taking credit for that. That's not me. This guy was putting it out there. I don't take any credit in this at all. When I send you the link, you'll be like, what? Yeah.
I just hope
he was putting it out there
that they don't make a lot of decisions and things like this based on trivia. Well, that's pretty frightening. Yeah.
When you see this video, you'll see what I'm talking about. I don't want to get your channel demonetized because one of the other guys was leaking it out. YouTube smashed his channel. They tried to cover it up. Some of the videos, he had to load it out and put it back out there because it was automatically shut down, censored, and stopped and blocked and thrown out there. If it was so fake, why wouldn't they let it be out there to be seen for the public?
But you still have access to that video, even though they've tried to do their best to get rid of it?
The guy that I'm going to send you the link has access to the video.
Oh, I see. Okay. Wow, definitely interested in seeing what that's about. Okay.
And you know, I was gonna say something with all that going on because I'm getting tired of this. Our team is way too good to not win at least 3 Super Bowls. Our team is way too good.
This was the year. This was actually the year. You could see it. That team was ready for any team that stepped on the field, and they were going to wipe them out. The Eagles were going to go down. They were going to go down painfully. This is just unbelievable bad news.
Eagles beat the Chiefs for real. That's a joke.
Yeah.
That'd be a joke. Eagles win. That would be a joke, and people need to wake up and look into that, or this is going to happen every year. We're going to be talking about this is wrong,
Bill.
That is wrong, why we haven't made it, why we haven't won it, all that.
We got to stop, though, Bill.
Give me a Niner shout-out.
All right.
Mamba, I'm going to find the link. I'm going to
Please
send it
get that to
you.
me. All right. You ready for that, Bill?
And I want to meet up with you alone on a video to discuss it.
All right. And 3, 2, and 1. Bill. Bill, looking forward to hearing from you on that link. All right. Talk to you later.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got to tell you, I hope, I don't know that I want to see anymore. I left the NBA because of this kind of madness, especially after that official came out and told everybody. You know the one that got suspended that year? I forgot his name. He told everybody. Yes, some of the games said we're instructed to carry on a certain way. Wow. But he had been kicked out of, he may have been fired. Maybe he was trying to hurt the NBA. I don't know, but some of it fit together. Hey, Steven. Steven and Rome.
Come on, Ronbo.
Steven. Come on in for Steven.
What's going on? Right.
Yeah, no, I was because you know what we're doing. I thought I'd go ahead and air this all the way out. We're probably going to continue to talk about it, but I thought tonight just go ahead and make it the center of attention is Kyle Shanahan. It seems that not everybody. There's only been 2 or 3 people, I think, at the most, maybe 3. I know for 2 that would like to see Kyle Shanahan take his services elsewhere. And most of us want him to make some adjustments.
On that boat.
I'm sorry, Steven, you're kind of faint. I can barely hear you.
Oh, I said, put me on that boat with him, Ronbo.
To put him on a ship and send him out of here?
Yeah, put me on that boat to, take his services elsewhere because we've gotten to so many NFC championships.
That's better. Good.
We've been on the Super Bowl. My bad. Yeah, we've been on how many NFC championship games? How many times have we made it to the playoffs? How many times have we made it to the Super Bowl? And how many times have we won a Super Bowl? Those are questions that people got to ask themselves. Yeah, he's a great coach, but at the same time, it's like, we've had so many opportunities to capture a ring in the 21st century, and we come up short every time. And what's the excuse? Oh, well, this happened, and we could have ran this play differently, and I'm like, no, it's not. There's only one person to blame, and it's the head coach. Your play calling sucks. Exactly the same way Jimmy J said it. Your plays suck, bro. Yeah. And what's even more deflating is the fact that it feels like the locker room supports Brock Purdy a little bit more than they do Trey Lance. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because Trey's a little bit more quiet and more, reserved than Brock Purdy in the locker room. But
Steven, honestly, they've been with Brock for 8 weeks, in a row, and they've watched him get things and move the offense. I think it may be more the familiarity. I'm pretty sure if Trey comes in and looks like he can move that offense and get things done, they can win ball games, that's all they want to really do. I think their memory will be short. And I don't think they'll have a problem with Trey, but they do want to feel confident about who's running things as far as the offensive QB, I understand that. I don't know that they should just resign themselves to, we're not interested anymore what Trey has to offer. This is our guy. I don't know they should be that hardcore, but at least let them go out there and take a look at both of them. And they would. Let's see what Trey looks like next year.
They will. They will.
Yeah.
But the problem is that even if we do get Trey back, or even if we get Brock Purdy back, no matter how good they are, if we don't have a good offensive line, that doesn't mean shit. Yeah. That does not mean shit. I mean, look at Justin Herbert. Does almost the exact same thing Patrick Mahomes does, acrobatic and all, but he's got a really bad offensive line.
What that makes?
Extremely bad offensive line.
And that makes our argument. It waters it down a little bit. If those guys can still, although Mahomes has had a really bad line that had him running backwards for his life during the Super Bowl, but there's not a lot of great offensive linemen. They're coming up though. Did you see the Senior Bowl game? There's offensive linemen that have finally realized, I don't need to play defense. I just need to stop those guys that are playing defense, and I get paid. I got a feeling that's going to be a trend.
All you got to do is stand there and put your hands up.
Well, you got to be good. You got to stop those guys. And that's going to take some talent. But work on that. I've already said, if you're a big kid and you know you're going to be over 300 pounds by the time you're 25, you need to work on offense. Forget about the glory boys on defense. Be an offensive lineman. You will get paid. Yeah.
Well, also, look at DJ Jones. The man was built like a goddamn cannonball. And I'm surprised they didn't think about, hey, let's switch you to offense. See what happens.
But he's fast and he's probably better at being a defensive line. But I think if you're 6'5", 6'6", and you're built like a monster, don't worry about defense or anything else. Be an offensive lineman, and by the time you get there, if you're like 16, 17, when you get there, Grand Theft though, because offensive linemen now are going to be premium. I mean, if you can get a good one, he's worth gold every last pound because they're hard to find.
And you know what? And you know what the crazy part is, Ronbo, is that Trent Williams kind of set that bar too. I mean, isn't he not the highest paid offensive lineman? So it kind of set the tone. Okay, if I'm good, I can make that paper. I can secure the bag.
And kids are watching. Kids are watching. Exactly. It's like any other sport.
There was a caller though, like about two callers back, that said something that I wanted to touch up on. Kyle's favoritism, and the thing he
Annabelle.
said to Jim Ford.
Yeah.
Annabelle. He or she, she, right?
Yeah.
Okay. She said that Kyle told Jimmy that if you don't like where you're at, then you can ride the bench. That is so true, because look what happened to Brandon Ayuk.
I got the name wrong. It's Donna Bell. Yeah.
Look at Brandon Ayuk. Yeah. We didn't see him for so long until this year.
Well, look at there's better examples. Look what happened to Matty B.
And Matty Ice?
I mean, Breida.
Oh, Matt Breida, yeah.
Had a falling out, and he's playing for the Dolphins.
Look at Jerick McKinnon.
Doing a wonderful job.
I've never seen someone.
Oh, my God. Jets doing a number over in Kansas City.
Rumble, no one likes Kyle. It shows in their faces. No one on that team appreciates Kyle. Nobody. It's either his way or the highway, and it's like, no, that's not how you're supposed to do it.
You know what though? A coach has got to have it that way, because, I mean, I don't know to what degree, but I mean, they got to follow the lead man. If you don't, Belichick is worse. So
Belichick is way worse.
Yeah, you got to have that. Steven, we're going to run out of time. Good stuff. I love the way you brought the opposing view, because we hadn't had that in a minute. We had it, but not to that degree you brought it. So we're going to. But hey, tomorrow, bring me some options on who you think would replace him, though, because I'm worried about that. But anyway, you and Rome, have a great night.
All right, Rumble. I'll see you tomorrow night. You have a good night.
Night, Steven. Rudy, put LA in chat if your team is still the champs. Rudy, is that an attempt at a rhyme? Oh, Rudy, that's a fail. Okay. Hey, thanks for the contribution, though, Rudy. I mean, you tried. Okay. Jayla will eat you up, though. Don't laugh at him, guys. Rudy's trying. Be ham. It's just terrible.
Ronbo.
Yes, Big Ham. How you doing tonight, fam?
Sitting around listening to all the bullshit some of the fans are calling in here with, man.
So I know what side you're taking on this. I don't even need to ask you. I mean, tell you what's going on.
Ronbo.
No, it's okay.
My language, and I don't like to use this type of language. But some of these people that call here is just simply dumb as fuck.
Mm.
I mean, one caller hit it on the head. Before Harbaugh, we hadn't did shit.
As Emilio. Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
We
hadn't done nothing before Harbaugh since '94.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? His first season, we come in, we go to the NFC Championship. His second season, I think we go to the NFC. Yeah, his second season, we go to the NFC Championship. And the third season, I think, to the Super Bowl. Then he started to decline. His fourth year, we fired him, and we went and got the damn gym coach, and he didn't do shit. Then we went and got Chip Kelly, and we went and got that damn Chip Kelly, thinking that he was gonna be able to come in with that Oregon shit that he was running, and he didn't do shit. He was out of the door.
And damn near killed him because he's running them too hard. You ain't got 100 players out here. Yeah.
So, Rumbo, this is the thing. Eddie DeBartolo was the father. Denise is Jed York's mother. Back in the day, Eddie, I think they say he screwed the mob or some shit over back in the day.
I do know the last time that we
his
won the
affiliation
Super
period
Bowl.
was a problem. Exactly.
Right. That was a problem. I do know the last time that we won the Super Bowl, we was quote unquote over the salary cap because we had got Dion that year. And
the salary
if
cap
you
being
remember,
the salary cap was not enforced at that time. They hadn't got around to actually establishing that yet. Yeah, a lot of teams were over the cap.
No.
Cowboys was over
because I remember them saying something about us because like in basketball you have a luxury tax.
Oh yeah, dollar for dollar.
When you go over. But in football, I remember them saying something about it because they actually had the 49ers as one of the teams that was not as being down as cheaters because of we was over
line on
the
books.
limit for what we're supposed to be.
Like the Rams be doing now.
So Denise is the mother, and she.
Oh, that's right. Who's
stepped
the daughter?
in.
Denise is right. She's mom.
Denise is the mother. Eddie DeBartolo is her husband. That's who owned the team at first. And when the shit went down after that first Super Bowl, somehow he stepped in and he had to get rid of the team, but he kept it in the family by passing it down to like Jed. Yeah, however that went. But Ronbo, just like the caller said, he bought Greasy in. I do think that Kyle M listened to your platform and other 49ers podcast platforms. I'm gonna say it like this, and I continuously say it. And like you said earlier, he gave himself away when he said he was torn between Trey and what's his name?
Mac Jones.
Rumbo. I didn't hear the 49ers even looking into goddamn Trey Lance until I started hearing about it on your platform and other people's platform. They started saying we need to look at Trey Lance. To me, the only thing I heard about back then was Mac Jones, Justin Fields.
Every day.
Mac Jones,
and Justin
Fields.
Yeah.
Trey Lance was nowhere in the picture until the fans and shit started talking about it. So I like to think that the only reason they got him was to somehow please the fucking fans.
You think?
Now we got him. I really do, bro. I really think that they listened to us. Like I say, it was Mac Jones and Justin Fields, and then out of nowhere,
Jones, fans hated the thought of Mac Jones, didn't they?
And out of nowhere, here we go with Trey Lance. Now, just like the other callers say, well, you got a lot of people who's looking at they don't like Trey Lance and they leaning more towards just Brock Purdy. Think about this, Ronbo. Think about back to training camp. Fred Warner got into it, right?
Him and Trey.
Remember?
Yeah.
Remember what he told him? Bro, we don't need you breaking and running. We need you throwing the ball. That's what's going to make us better.
And remember Trey walked out of that press conference and he said some of the things he's saying out there are disrespectful. I didn't know what he could have possibly said.
Just think about it.
That
if Fred then told Trey, we need you throwing the ball instead of you, if you don't see nothing, you break out and run. Think about where that goes as to what we seen when we seen him on the field. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, maybe that answers some of the questions as to why he went throwing the goddamn ball. You know, we had been hearing it in all these interviews, arm fatigue, this, he ain't ready, this, that, and the third, and we kept coming in here every week, oh, no, he is the guy, he is this, he is that. And you get out there and think, just go look at the tape, don't lie. Look at how many times in the 2 games he threw the ball. So it's something there. It's something there between that and what Fred Warner was saying.
Oh, man. And it's going to all get uncovered here sometime soon. But yeah, fam, we got to go. I always appreciate you. We'll be back tomorrow if you got some time.
I sure try to get back in here, man.
I hope so.
Hey, man, the fans need to pump our brakes. And and just sit back and let the professionals handle this and pray that they give us a good show. I would rather keep Kyle Shanahan making it to the NFC Championship every year and losing rather than goddamn going
2-15. I can't go 2-15, BM. Oh no,
I don't want to do that. I would have fun making it to the NFC Championship rather than going 2-15.
Because sooner or later, if you do keep doing that, you're gonna make it. All right, fam. I'll see you tomorrow.
Good night, Ronbo.
Good night,
These
BM.
people don't know what they don't know what they want. You know, they don't know what they want, man. Good night, brother. I'll see you tomorrow, man.
All right, BM. I agree. I don't. Some people have even said I'd trade one Lombardi and go 5-6 years with nothing, then just continue like this. I said, "Oh, do you realize? Do you remember what we went through before this? I did not get over that." Hey, Book. Book. I thought he was talking, actually. Book is sleeping. I got to put these all together in one loop. Long. Book, lullaby, and good night. We'll see you next time. Bookie Book. Hey, Casey. I knew you were gonna do it. But wait,
is this the Ronbo? Is this the Reverend Ronbo right here?
wait, Casey, hold on a second. Man. Wait. Brian Combs says you have to listen to Coach. Hit the like button. Thanks, Brian. Casey, wake up. Get in here.
Nothing to do but bet on tennis right now, Ronbo.
Are you watching tennis? I was watching yesterday. Tennis is fun. You can get wrapped up in it. It's hypnotic. You're watching that ball going back and forth.
Yeah, it's just tough because what's up, man?
No, I'm saying you're watching tennis. You're watching. Your eyes are shifting and back and forth. You know, and especially when that ball barely hits outside the line, and how'd they know there's gonna hit outside? That is amazing. But Case, go, let me do it. Let me do it for you. Ronbo, I didn't call in to talk about tennis. I beat you.
I'm here to talk about the San Francisco 49ers.
Case, you know what the subject's going to be now until we win the Super Bowl. The time has come. Yeah, we're getting rid of Kyle Shanahan. There are some people that are serious. They are not kidding. They have had it. Going to the NFC Championship and going to the playoffs, it's not good enough. We want the Super Bowl. And if we have to we're getting rid of Jimmy this year. If Kyle doesn't do it this year, we're getting rid of Kyle next year. George Kittle, Jimmy Ward has said all he's going to say to piss Kyle off. He's out of here. We got to start getting rid of people.
I agree, Ronbo. I think we should fire Kyle immediately and just start from the ground up again, and just spend a couple more years in the doldrums and.
No! I can't stand it, Case. I remember I was in anxiety all the time.
Yeah. No, I think it's a similar theme with the 49ers, Trey and Jimmy and Kyle. First they love you, then they hate you, then they love you again. This man Kyle spent 3 months without losing a game, and then, gets his starting quarterback injured, his prodigy quarterback injured, and it's all Kyle's fault, so I don't know, man. These guys stay healthy. That's how it's been. That's how it is for every team. And to think that any team in the NFL, let alone the 49ers, any team could do what the 49ers did last year is absolutely amazing. And
people don't understand how hard it is to get to that level and how hard it is to get to where we get. Yeah. It's just really tough because there's a lot of teams that are out there floundering every year. Look at Texans.
It's absolutely phenomenal, man. They could, they really could still make a movie about, last year, and they could do like an America's game on us and stuff, and it would still be incredible. But yeah, man, it feels like we're sentenced to 2 years, and we'll be lucky if we get out in one. I mean, it's going to be a long time until the Niners get another shot at going to the Super Bowl, and that's really all we've been craving for years. So,
but you know what?
Tough
Because
right
we
now.
don't expect it. Casey, you sound as if you're not expecting anything next year. Watch and see what happens next year now. You know,
Well, it's not that I'm not expecting anything next year. I just know how tough it is to win in the NFL, and what they just did was incredible. They won 12 games in a row. I mean, the
my
bar
point.
has been set really high.
I am not even going to put my mind in that position. I'm going to get excited week to week, but I refuse to commit and actually invest any feelings, anything beyond that. Because you know what? We get a feelings hurt every year at the same time. We get all the way there. Oh, and this year was just freakish. How the quarterback gets his arm hurt in this game? Why this one?
Well, Ronbo, I think you do a great job. I think you do a great job of doing that, especially week to week, man. I mean, you give respect to the opponent a lot, and callers like Trez, and
I do show
a lot of the a lot of the longtime callers, they don't get too far ahead of themselves. That's what I really like about the show. A lot of us tell it like it is, So, I mean, we
don't appreciate the
tell it like it is. We call it how we see it, So
that's true. But we don't appreciate the achievements. The bar has been set, I realize. But when we have such a thrilling season like we just had, we had some things good, Casey. We swept the NFC West. We beat the Seahawks 3 times.
Oh, totally, man.
How long have we been trying to get rid of this team? It's just annihilate it. We embarrassed them this year. We went to the playoffs and we knew we were going to get to the NFC Championship game. All we needed to do was get in there. And this year, it was going to happen. The freakish luck. The quarterback's going back. Here comes this dude, bends his arm back, tears it out of his elbow. Game over. Just like that.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because otherwise, no, the Eagles weren't going to beat the 49ers. You can see the defense was dialed in. Hurts was going to get jack diddly squat that day.
Really, they should make a movie on all the 49ers injuries over the last few years.
Well, that'd be a long-running
I want to see a list of.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, 3-hour runtime on that
hours.
one. Yeah. Jesus, man. Who was it that called in tonight and said that Jimmy should have been the backup behind Purdy, man? Jimmy could have done it. Was it Emilio?
Yeah, no, somebody said Jimmy should have. I forgot. Somebody did say. That person said Jimmy should have started.
That's an interesting aspect. I wonder if Jimmy could have played that day. If Jimmy would have gone out. But.
And he would have tried. I don't know how much that would have worked, but he would have did better than Josh. If Jimmy was in a wheelchair, he would have did it with Josh. Josh is not ready for prime time.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, Rumbo, I think Brunskill would have done a better job than Josh Johnson.
I agree. I
here
bet
nor
money
there.
on that. Oh my God, Josh was like a deer in really bright headlights. Oh, he was out there trembling and shaking.
Well, you know what? What was it that Steve Young said? Is that the NFC Championship is a different speed, and Josh Johnson hasn't played in a long time. It's a tough spot for anyone, man. So
I know. I feel sorry for him, but we needed him.
Yeah.
Damn it.
And they gotta pump him up on the sidelines and stuff. Little George Kittle going, "Let's go, Josh," and stuff. No, where's this? Hit the shoulder pads. Slap him over the helmet or whatever. Get this guy ready.
Casey, if you and I were there, we'd have took him in the back. Josh, light this up. Take it. You'll be okay. Come on, man. Relax. We gotta go, Case. Production's telling us we gotta stop.
I got to spark this up, Rumbo. I'm staying meditative tonight on this this holy Sunday with the Reverend Rumbo. Always a pleasure, fam.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Hopefully your next caller isn't sleeping tonight, Rumbo. That's where we're at. This is the state of the 49ers right now. We're in hibernation, Rumbo.
Guys, I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, man.
Have a great night, fam.
Yeah, later, Rumbo.
Oh, God. Yeah, I would have handed Josh one of them Cheech and Chong. I mean, Josh, you need to chill out, man. You can do this now. Relax. It's Joey Money, yeah, dum de do I, ooh, yeah, Joey. Joe, I did this once, and the guy's name was Joey, and it wasn't him. I'm going to do that too. Next, I'm going to hit the phone. I'm going to fall out before I answer. Next call, I'm going to get him. Joey.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Yeah, Joey, I'm trying to get into a good mood again. I hate being unhappy. You know, this season is not. I can't even get excited about next week's Super Bowl because I don't care who wins. But you know, because I don't want either team. I could care less. Joey, but Kyle Shanahan is what we're talking about anyway. You know, a lot of people want to see
Fire
Kyle
him,
walk.
please.
You do want to
fire him? Fire him right now. Fire him. Fire him. It's trash. Fire him. Don't matter who we replace him with. Just fire him. He can't win. He can't win the big one. Blew a 25-point lead in Atlanta. Blew a 10-point lead in the Super Bowl. Blew another 10-point lead against the Rams.
Not against the Eagles, though. He didn't blow it. 10 points is his lucky number, though.
No, I said against the Rams. I said against the Rams.
Well, I mean, he changed up this time. You know, they went out there and broke the quarterback's arm.
Yeah, and he still lost. Like a good friend once told me, you know, hell, another loss for Shanahan. You're either good at your job or you're not. It is what it is, Ronbo. We're stuck with them, unfortunately.
It's like it reminds me of that Rocky movie when his wife came out and he's going up against Clubber Lang, and Rock was stuck. Oh, okay, I got this. You can't win. You know, oh my, that's when Kyle gets home. That's what his wife says. You know?
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Yeah, it's depressing. It really is. Okay though, how you doing, Ronbo? Shout out to Big Show.
Hanging in there.
That's my guy.
I know Show got attacked tonight. Show's tough though. He hangs in there. He doesn't. You know, Show, I love you, man. You know it. You know it. We do.
Oh boy. He's doing good, though. He's hanging in there. He texted me right before I called in, so he's doing good.
Right.
He says, he said to say hi.
Show, he does. This has been going on for years. Remember when Show was talking about Mac Jones? People, I was hoping, I'm glad they couldn't find him. People were livid. But Joey, you didn't want Mac Jones either, but you didn't get crazy.
No, I wanted Justin Fields, but we ended up with Trey. I like Trey, but I'm you know.
Well, he needs work.
How many weeks?
49ers knew he was wrong when he came.
Rumble, let me ask you a question. How many weeks is Trey gonna make it this year, bro? Comes back. He's gonna recover good. He's gonna be ready.
Vegas is gonna start running lines.
What week do you think he's gonna get hurt by, bro?
I'm not.
Because you know Kyle Shanahan gonna run him. You know he ain't gonna learn his lesson, bro. You know he ain't gonna learn his lesson. He's gonna right up the middle. He's gonna get hurt again. Because that's Kyle Shanahan football. He's gonna get his quarterback hurt, bro. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna happen. Brock Purdy will be in there by week 2, just like this year.
You know what though? You remember Steve? You heard the story about Steve Young, right? Steve used to like to break and run too, and that's why he loves Trey so much. They're going to put those bands.
Steve Young didn't have Kyle Shanahan as a head coach, brother.
But the thing is, you're going to put those bands on his legs so he can't run. He's got to stay there, scale the field, find a target, find it quickly, and throw. It may be he's young. He doesn't have any years in college, let alone the pros. He's freaking out. He's getting scared. That's why he takes off. If I can't find a target, these dudes ain't hitting me, right? So it's the 49ers have to get him ready. Don't keep sending him out there and getting him killed. You know?
You do realize that Kyle Shanahan's nickname is quarterback killer, right? So that's what he does. He gets quarterback killed, bro. I'm just saying. But
he's got a lot of quarterbacks on his list of people that got hurt. So I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, that's a long list. That's a long list, Ronbo. That's a long list. You know, it is what it is.
But Joey, he's a good quarterback when things are going the way they should. The injuries,
great until he runs him into the ground, bro. Is he gonna learn? You would think he would learn.
Well, sometimes it's
after
protection
all these
too.
quarterbacks.
I mean, we got to get some offensive linemen that can do something besides just oops.
Brother,
look out!
There ain't no protection for telling your quarterback to go run between the center and the fucking left guard, brother. That's a smart call. He ain't a running back.
He's not Josh Allen. He shouldn't be running up the middle of the field anyway. I don't even understand why is he running up the middle of the field to begin with. You hit the sides. You look for because at least if you're going to side, Joey, I can scale the field if I'm running side to side. I'm watching, and now I got the option of running out of bounds, throw it out of bounds, or something. But the danger is running up. Josh Allen's going to get enough of that too. I think
I have a message for you from Big Show. I just got a message from him on my phone just now, and he wants me to bring up him pissing off the quarterback coach the other night on Tuesday night. Can you speak on that, please?
The real 49ers.
Yes, I missed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can play it
so
back later.
he's asking me to. I'll play it back later, but he's asking me to ask you about that.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I show I'm not gonna support that type of talk at you. I didn't really appreciate, but he was just telling us what Coach Greasy said, but that was I was unnecessary. But the coach was saying things about everybody, a lot of people that called in. His feeling is people don't understand. They should be GMs, and he assured that Shanahan is not getting fired. And Shanahan cannot take players out there, and he can tell them what to do before the game starts. They can practice, they can work on things, but when on the field, they're on their own. They've got an assignment. They have got to complete that assignment. If they don't, that's not exactly all his fault. Although there's some wiggle room there to argue about that, but you don't leave practice unless it's 2:00 in the morning until it seems they've got it. You can't do that, though. The players' union will get on you. There's so many problems, Joey. It's scary.
What do you think of Derek Carr coming to the Niners? Do you think that would be?
No.
Let me ask you this.
Joe,
did you know?
I got to answer.
Hold on. Let me just say this one point. Did you know that Derek Carr is number one at quarterback comebacks since 2015 with 23? Did you know that?
I do remember him having a year like that. But Joe, we're gonna have to go. Bring it tomorrow, and then maybe we can talk about optional quarterbacks next tomorrow. We've got plenty, but we need more, and they're gonna draft one.
Yeah.
So anyway,
they better, because Kyle Shanahan ain't gonna keep them healthy. All right, Ronbo. Bang bang that again. Let's go.
Appreciate you, Joey. Have a great night.
You too. You too.
See, because I already know next year comes, I'm gonna be scared to death every week. And you guys told me to calm down. I'm not calming down next year. Every week I'm gonna be worried, not so much about the game. I'm gonna be worried about guys surviving. And I was worried about that last year. And I said, you know what? If we could just make it from point A to point B with all our players. Username 0331 says Trey Lance was literally drafted to be a mobile quarterback. I know, fam, but he came out there. He's a mobile quarterback, but he's running the ball you can't run the ball every other set. You've got to throw that thing and get the defense, because all I'm going to do after a while is pin their ears back. He's going to run it. No, you got to hit your players. And if they don't get that down in practice, then by the time the game starts, nothing's going to change, coach. You guys got to figure something out. Or we're going to have this situation. That foot is so badly hurt, I wonder if he's going to be the same when he comes back. He's going to be afraid to run. That's not a good thing for a mobile quarterback, right? So I can't imagine what that's going to look like. Hey, Michael.
Hey, Ronbo. How's your night going, buddy?
Michael, okay, and we're frustrated, and other people are laughing at us from other fan bases, but thinking they didn't go as far as we have, and they haven't achieved as much as we do, and they have nothing to they can be hanging loose all they want to because they suck. But, Michael, our situation is the thing is people want Kyle gone. There's a few. Maybe the mass majority of us don't really want him gone. But are you ready for Kyle to say goodbye?
No, not yet. No, why? Give him a couple of years. He'll be fine. I think what he needs to do is find some offensive line. That'll be the main thing. If he can get offensive line, maybe our quarterback will stay healthy. I mean, you look at it. What other coaches are out there that we can, you know what I mean? You look at it.
What happened with Brian Greasy?
Casey got Brian Greasy, 49ers, real 49er fan. He seems to be friends with Coach Greasy, and he had him listen to us the other day, and we said a few things that pissed him off. But
I like Shanahan. You figure give Shanahan maybe a couple of years. He'll be fine. I mean, it's like you said, the defense are getting better. These guys are getting built bigger than they used to be.
God, they're good. All right.
They are. The defense now are way better than, you know what I mean?
Michael, you know why? Because as soon as the league went to a all passing league, you notice everything evolves. Okay, we're gonna throw the ball through, and now all of a sudden it's caught up. 2, 3, 4 years later, now the defense has absolute bloodthirsty fiends out there coming off the edge. They'll kill a quarterback. They're like dogs that have been trained to kill quarterbacks. You gotta have a balanced
ready
attack.
to go after you.
You gotta have a balanced
Oh,
attack.
they're like pit bulls ready to go after you.
Oh, it's
I
frightening.
mean, I was reading an article today about Joe Montana saying that Jimmy should start this year. I said, why would you want to start Jimmy? He's gone. I want Trey Lance to be starting. And I want Trey to start.
Well, Jimmy's gone anyway because we can't afford him no matter what.
Yeah.
But
Jimmy could go pack his bag. He could say ooh la la somewhere else.
The thing is, Trey has got to be a mobile quarterback, though. Don't be a running quarterback. You're not Lamar Jackson. Please don't try to be Kyler Murray. You're not Josh Allen. You got to run Kyle's plays first, and then if you take off, it's okay. But don't run just be running. Yeah. That'll get him killed every time.
Killed. He'd be out for a year again. We don't want to lose him again. You know?
Especially now that Brock Purdy's made an appearance and shows he can run that offense. Now you've got the quarterback dilemma again.
Yep. So, I mean, if Brock comes back healthy, then we'll put him we'll let him start. If Brock comes back, let him start. If he's not, I'll tell Trey, hey, you got to respect Shanahan or follow his rules. Yeah. You know? Listen what he says. Don't do what don't just do what you want because look what happened. You did it last time and what happened.
Yeah.
You know? And then, like you said, drafting a quarterback later on, maybe there's another gem out there. There's a lot of good quarterbacks that I was watching the Senior Bowl.
Wouldn't that be hilarious? We get another Brock Purdy.
We should put our money down on the table. Think who this guy is going to be. That's what you do. All the 49ers fans should put it down in the chat. Who do you think the 49ers next Brock Purdy is going to be in this year's draft? You get it right,
they're looking.
You get a free trip.
They're looking. He's definitely going to draft one.
Yeah.
He's going to bring in a veteran. There'll be 4 quarterbacks when camp starts for sure. And then it'll be down to 3. There's one can be eliminated.
Dalton. Somebody was talking about bringing a trade or something about the Patriots quarterback from Alabama. I said, no, he's going to stay.
So we're going to find out. And I don't know.
Well, I think
one's going to be a veteran.
UCLA.
What?
Yeah, I think if he, I say maybe Andy Dalton, maybe, or somebody says Derek Carr. I mean,
Carr's going to cost.
I wouldn't mind having Carr.
Yeah, but Carr's going to get.
But know what?
He's going to get bidded on. Your 49ers are not going to outbid anybody for Derek Carr, or anybody else for that matter.
Probably the Jets will get either the Jets will get him, or Tampa Bay. Maybe Tampa Bay. You know.
You know what? If Tua can't play, look for Jimmy to show up in Miami.
Go to Miami. He'll probably go to Miami, and Miami will draft another quarterback, probably.
Yeah, because Jimmy knows how to. Jimmy runs that offense. He's born and raised in that. Not born and raised, but he's been doing that offense for the last 5 years, right? So Jimmy hits the ground running.
Hey.
Now, can you keep him upright? See.
Yep, and if he goes to Miami, is he going to take some of our Niner offensive guys with them? You know what I mean? Think of how many people are probably supported of Jimmy G. They might go follow him maybe to Miami or wherever he goes.
Or not this year, next year.
You got to watch.
Yeah,
well, we got to watch out, guys. You know,
one of our guys is over in Texas. He's going over there too. What's his name?
Which guy is it?
Cluin?
Ward.
One of our offensive coaches.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, we're worried about the center going over there with him. He's going to get offered more money in Texas, probably. So, Phil told me they don't have any money in Texas. I don't know what they've been spending it on.
Money hidden somewhere. They probably hid it somewhere. They must hide that money pretty good. You know.
We'll find out.
Well, whatever. If we have to draft one or get a veteran center, there's probably plenty of centers that wouldn't mind coming to Frisco.
Well, can you pay them? We're strapped for cash now. So after Nick gets paid, we're gonna have to find money. I don't know where they're gonna do it.
Dude, we're all gonna find money, yeah.
I know. Well, now they're just like everybody else in the world.
Man,
we gotta go, Michael.
Rumble, you know what I mean?
I know.
All right, Ronbo, can I get all out?
Oh yeah. Back tomorrow.
All right, thanks a lot, Ronbo. You have a good night.
You
Good
too.
night, everyone in the Frisco world.
Night, fam. And it's OG Niner fan. Come on in, fam.
What's up, Ronbo?
Oh, yeah. We look at it. The subject has been, people been talking about Kyle so bad for so many days. I said, you know, I may go ahead and get a heat check out here and just see how serious it is. OG Niner fan, you've been watching the Niners long enough to be able to know a good coach from a bad coach. You know, what is Kyle Shanahan? Should he be thrown out?
I've been rocking with him, man, since we got Montana out of Notre Dame. But check this out. You got two kind of fans. You got a fan of the game, and you got a fan of your team. And if you got a fan of your team, they don't see nothing else but their team. I want to take you back for a second. Everybody talks about Josh Allen. Remember when Jalen Ramsey called Josh Allen garbage? And the thing of it was, if Josh Allen went, because he was the same way Trey Lance was, big arm, he just wasn't good at making the in-between throws. So what did he go and do? He worked with Chris Harris and Jordan Palmer. The thing of it is, anybody that thinks that, yeah, Purdy led us, but he ain't got the arm strength. We don't have a vertical passing game. And the passes that Purdy made this year, where were they at? The middle of the field. He was giving you a bigger size Jimmy G, and that's not what we need. We need somebody that when it's time to roll out of the pocket. I'm up here in Kansas City. I watch Mahomes every single game. Mahomes is a great quarterback, yes, but here's the thing. When the play breaks down, he can improvise. He can throw a 3rd and 10 with his feet, and then he can find his tight end and everybody running down the field. We knew we needed offensive line help coming in the very beginning of the year. We thought we was going to get our center back, which I was hoping he was going to come back. He didn't. We've been knowing for years that Mike McGlinchey is the softest dude on the team. You don't even help your quarterback up when he got hit in Chicago. Come on, man. The thing of it is we don't have a vertical passing game. And if y'all go back and you watch when we played Green Bay in the preseason, who hit Danny Gray running down the field? The reason we haven't been able to see IU and all these receivers that we have do what they were about to do is we have nobody that can get the ball to them. So everybody screams, Mac Jones, Mac. All right, what has Mac Jones done in 2 years? What has he done? We need offensive line help, and we have a coach that I don't know really what to say on Cal. I know that he's very arrogant, but I ask all the fans this. If we fire Cal, who do we get?
Yeah. That's my question.
That's the question. Who do we go get? But what Kyle has to understand is, man, your way and what your father ran in 1987 to now is not working anymore. You have running backs. Where is Jordan Mason? If you go back and look at all the games we put this kid in, the first play of the game that he touched the ball, he was getting 9 to 10 yards. We didn't bring him in. Kyle is a very arrogant coach, but I really believe it's because when we got Kyle, he was given the keys to run everything. He don't have to fear about his job. There's a lot of things that he does. When you sit back and you watch Andy Reid, if a play doesn't work, Andy Reid doesn't bench those players. He goes right back to them. He's a player-friendly coach. Just go what one caller said really made sense. Look at Jordan. Look at McKinnon. We had McKinnon.
Yeah.
Do you know how many games the Chiefs have won because of McKinnon?
Okay, but keep in mind, he was hurt the whole time he was here. They wanted him to play really badly. He just couldn't.
Well, like I said, the thing of it is, man, we need offense, and I'll come in tomorrow because here's the defense. I want a lot of people to watch our team. I was really riding for this dude, but I have gotten to a point to realize that he's all bark and nobody. Man, if you go back and you look at our defensive line, Kinlaw is always turned around. He doesn't understand in his head. The lowest man wins. Look at our defensive line, and here's my thing. Do we suffer now and go ahead and suffer? Because
what one caller, and I'm gonna leave you with this. One caller made a lot of sense. How many NFC Championship games have we been to? And we've been to one Super Bowl. So our window is either closed, or it's getting ready to close. So do we start rebuilding now? But here's my thing. We got some people on that defensive line that in the big games, where are Hassan Reddick at? Where are those true monsters, those true dogs that when we really need them to be great? If you go back and realize if the defense in the NFL wasn't geared as far as trying to take the defense out of the game, if you really want to know the truth, if Tavon Diggs hit Kittle, we don't even beat Dallas. But he was afraid to hit him. If that would have been Ed Reed and the Ravens back in the day, Kittle wouldn't make that catch. But I'm just saying, my question is this. It's about Kyle Shanahan. And I want some fan to call me that if we get rid of Kyle, who do we get?
Mm-hmm. It is the $64 question. And I you know, it's what I want to know. You guys want to switch Kyle? I'm trying to go 2-15. I don't want to go to that again, please. You know, some people I just want one championship. We can look like poop for the next 10 years. I don't care. You don't need to care. I do, and everybody else. That's too long.
Well, here's the last thing, Ronbo.
Real quick, man, because we're out of time.
This dude is a rookie. So he's not going to go out there and not run what Cal is not telling him to run. But here's my thing. The 49ers created this problem themselves. Jimmy G should have been nowhere around the facility when the season started. Because if the season started and you got this man sitting over here in this corner working out and everybody else is doing this, and then all the people love Jimmy G, man, who do you think at the beginning of the season they're going to want to see?
Well,
the kid never.
OJ, they didn't really. Jimmy's over there because they couldn't trade him. Also, what applies to Jimmy, just like everybody else, the thing you're saying, Jimmy was restricted to do what he was told. When Greasy told him, look, when plays break down, you're licensed to go out and do what you do. A lot of people don't want to admit it, but we saw Jimmy G we hadn't seen since 2017 this year, and that's the honest to God truth. Jimmy was playing ball. But he's leaving now. He'll get paid somewhere else. 49ers are not going to bid to keep him even if they wanted to, and they can't afford to. But this is you're right. We need a quarterback to just say, Kyle, look, I got this, and go do your thing. So that's what quarterbacks do, Kyle. When he tells you what to do, you damn well better do it. He'll put you on the bench. So that's the way that works. Anyway, OJ, I'm going to be back tomorrow if you got time, and we'll see what we got going on there. All right?
Everybody night again.
All right. Night, fam. Hey, are we checking back on Book? Yo, Book. There's Book? There's no Book. All right. Hey, Tony. What? Tony's never passed out. Oh my God! Is it that late? I got it a little early tonight. I thought we were okay. This is kind of normal. All right, we'll wake Tony up. Tony, I can't wait tomorrow to tell you you passed out on me. Tony's usually busy at this hour anyway. I'm shocked. And have you got anybody else? Well, with Tony saying goodnight, I guess we'll say goodnight. We've had 3 people. I feel bad. People passed out. Fam, let's see what happens tomorrow in the news. Because we're actually going to have news every day. I think we're going to find out we're going to sign Steve Wilks. What do you think? Anyway, fam, thanks for the contributions, fam. Always appreciate it. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great red gold dream. Will you please? God, I love